All right, here we are. Let me change this little layout right quick so we can get to this. TVMA is up on the screen. So let me close this other StreamYard thing down, and I am going to go check my email right quick just to make sure if Jimmy Licari wants to come up. I am going to reply. He's already sent me an email. I am going to give him the StreamYard link. If you want to come up for the after party, there
Congrats again, Jimmy.
the link. All right, so that is sent to Jimmy Licari. All of the winners will get a link in any old time. So Jimmy Licari, if you're out there, I emailed you, so please check your email, and I sent you a link for the after party. Sam, you can make a sequel. This isn't about me. This is about party. I don't have to be big screened. We'll switch it. There we go. Yeah, this is just an after party. I'm gonna go grab a beer because I just drank two over 1 ounce snifters of 120 proof bourbon. Delicious, by the way. Delicious. But I'm gonna get a beer. Kathy Bates, congratulations.
Thank you.
We get to ship you a glass.
Yeah.
Oh no problem. You know, Grovey, you didn't you didn't come up on the wheel, and really Fulton, man, I can't believe Fulton didn't come up either. He had the most entries, but it is what it is, and we have to go by the rules. What whiskey was it? It's a it's a Mr. Great Shot. It's a whiskey you can only get about 35 miles north of Nashville in Kentucky. You can get it in Nashville too. He distributes down there. It's a craft distillery. He's only about 10 years old, but he only does 4-year aged, very good double pot still bourbon, wheated bourbons, and it's from Dueling Grounds Distillery, and it's called Lincoln Pinch uh, bourbon, and it's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and it's 119.3 proof. This is barrel 69. So, and the first 6 barrels he had was from a smaller still. This is barrel 69. So, he's only done about 50 something, you know, batches from the larger still. And man, it is fantastic. But that's why I went to do a documentary on them, because they have really good juice. And let me kill that chat over there. Stretch this out. Now everybody looks bigger. All right. Man. Yeah, I'm planning my next documentary shoot, by the way, but it won't be till next year. This is too much. Yeah, it's one a year is plenty. Because I still have tons of hours to go before it'll be ready. But right now we're focused on the winners, and Kathy Bates is the winner on the panel right now. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun, though. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
And I have talked a lot tonight.
Well, are you losing your voice?
Mm-mm. I'm greasing it up. No, I'm not going to drink that much tonight. I do have to work tomorrow. I did not take PTO tomorrow, but it's a light day. Check my schedule right quick. I'm just glad to have all that dentist stuff out of the way. That was just a pain in the butt. They wanted to replace all my fillings from when I was a kid. You know, they're like, it's routine maintenance. We just need to, go in there and do it. But I had to get all the shots and everything, Novocaine, deaden it, take filling out, put the filling in. And they had to do like some up here, one down here, one over here. It was a pain in the butt. It's Thursday, Friday. I'm checking my schedule for work. Let's see. There's a lot of people off tomorrow. So my first meeting tomorrow is at noon. But there are things I need to take care of. So
Sorry, I had a phone call. Freaking phone calls, dang it.
Yeah, no problem. No, I'm hiring some new folks, and I have to get the tickets put in the IT system so they can start on time and all that type of stuff. So until 2023, facts. Man, I need a recliner back here so I can.
That's what I was saying. I want one of those reclining chairs for your friggin' the desk. Yes.
Yeah, because hey, just so y'all know, I'm not a sadomasochistic person or anything like that, but this is what I sit on. It's barely padded, but padded enough. Keeps me alert. If you ever see me vanish like this, I probably had too much to drink.
How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing fine. How you doing today?
Good.
Good.
It's warm here, though. It's hot. So
It's
I got the
actually
fan
like
on me.
it's actually well, it says it's like 69 degrees here.
69 is my favorite number. Not because of that. It's the year I was born.
I don't know how it could be 69 down that way and 80 up here. It's freaking insane. Kind of ass backwards if you think about it. Back asswards.
Yeah.
Yep.
It pulls my butt off the floor, Mark. That's all I needed to do. It keeps me alert. I can't sit here and fall asleep on stream. Well, I can. I mean, trust me, I could do this. Well, Crazy Ann sat here and watched me one night, and I was like, she's like, "You're asleep." I'm like, "No, I'm awake." Seth 420, how's it going? All right, man. So I think the next movie I'm looking forward to is that Maverick movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I've been wanting to see that.
Yeah.
Probably take the kid this weekend.
Want me to fly there and I'll go watch it with you?
I'm hoping it comes out on HBO Max. I wait for it. I don't go to the movies to watch movies because I have this 100-inch screen. I invested in this projector. I have a great sound system here. I hate to go spend $20 to watch a movie when I have this setup. And I'm not the type of person that like, oh, I have to see it first. No, I'm not like that. I'll wait.
It's been years since I've been to the movies. Years. The very last one I watched at the movies was with my sister that passed away years ago, and that was The Passion of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That was the very last time I ever went to the movies.
Yeah, Lori. Yeah, just hit me on Messenger. And I understand you have to go, but hey, thanks for stopping by.
What up, Sip?
Mark said his skinny butt would go numb.
Let's get Mark the link too.
That's all right. I just, you have to see if Lori's here more.
Cream shot.
Mark.
Yeah, it's Mr. Cream Shot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him on.
See, when you say Mr. Cream Shot, what comes to mind for me is like a cream soda shot, like just a shot glass with like cream soda and maybe like a little melted vanilla ice cream in it.
Oh yeah.
Cream shot.
There he is. Got
Speaking
him.
of that, have you ever had a grape soda float?
Yep.
Oh my God. It was this place called the Purple Cow, and that was their big thing. It was like they upped the syrup level or the carbonation, they tuned it. It was back soda fountain days, and they could adjust how much carbonation and syrup went in and how much water and all that. And they had this thing tuned up, and it was like soft serve ice cream and grape soda. And it was like you could just take the straw and like mix it around and have a grape milkshake, but it was freaking good.
Yep. Bling. Chime.
And I'm eventually going to get out to Mr. Great Shot. I mentioned to my wife that, and we lived in Texas for 17 years. We know the area. We love Austin. And I mentioned to her that I know a place that we can go with the camper. And he said he had 5 camper spots and we're welcome to come there. And she's like, oh, so you may get to meet my wife and everything, so we'll see how that goes.
Shit. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the heck am I doing?
Oh, you're doing okay, honey.
Oh, I had sent the wrong thing. Boom. There we go.
I'll guarantee you there's very few people that's going to meet my wife. She does not come on cam. She does not want to have any part to do with these live streams or any of that shit. She is in there doing her thing.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Sometimes I wonder why I even started. There's some nasty ass people out here.
Yeah. My only thing with folks is, just understand that she has a Juris Doctorate and she is a lawyer and don't fuck with her. She's pretty fucking smart. That's all I'll say about it.
Oh, sleepy puppy. Floof.
Does that mean I can hire her if I have a problem?
Well, it depends. She's
Yes. Yes.
well,
Yes.
well, okay.
Yes.
So here's what she could do. Because she had her bar card in Texas. She doesn't have it here. Depends on the state. You know how it goes. You gotta
Right.
to give legal advice, you have to pass the bar in the state that you're, and if you're representing, you have to have a bar card. So she could look up the stuff and give you not legal advice. She could give you her advice as someone who has a Juris Doctorate, but it wouldn't be the advice of your attorney. You know what I mean?
Right. She would
Right.
not be my attorney, but she'd also be able to hit me in the right direction of
Oh,
what.
yeah. She could advise you for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. And it always has to come with a disclaimer of this is not a
Right.
advice, of a licensed attorney in the state you're talking about, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, I read a lot of like contracts. So like part of what I do is HIPAA and third party risk management, things like that. When people don't understand when I say I'm in computer security, it's not computer. I'm in compliance, right? But I know computer stuff and I know computer security and hackers and all that bullshit. But that's like a fraction of what we do. I read legal contracts all the time and make sure that, it's like COBIT controls and auto processes and ISO 27000, and the, NIST 853 controls are in there. And we're making sure that we're holding these companies responsible for all the data and blah, 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 blah. And I have to read through all those and they're dry as frick. But I know how to write legal stuff because I read it all the time and I know what the different legal terms mean, of if you use herein and different terms. I know what those things mean, for the context of what you're writing the documents for. And
That should be the right one.
I wrote up the prize thing about, I said, hey, by putting your birthday here and signing below, you attest that this is your legal age, blah, 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 right? And I gave it to her to review, and it passed first review. So I was like, yay. So, Sam kicked herself from the stream briefly.
I was double checking something. That's the right link. The last one I sent is correct.
Who the what? It's this one.
Well, you sent it to me and I got up here.
Yeah, it's the right one.
Oh,
wait, hang on. I don't know why it's giving me the other one. That's what it's doing. It's giving me the other one for this.
Okay.
That's the problem.
But you see the invite.
So everybody got, I got the new one right here now, finally.
Okay. I've had that happen before.
I was wondering why nobody else was coming.
I had something in my clipboard, copied. And I would copy a new thing and it would put the old clipboard shit in. And I was like, why are you doing this? What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I went to paste something one time on this new computer and it asked me which clipboard I wanted to paste from. And there were 40 clipboards available. And I was like, what? And I went into my settings and I found out that you can, on this new Mac, you can set it to maintain all clipboards. And I was like, what? I don't want to scroll through a bunch of old stuff. And what all that meant was I could just keep copying multiple things and then I could choose. But the problem is clipboard 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't tell you what it is, type thing. So it was.
How's it going, Chatty? Oh.
Yeah,
what's all happening?
Hey, hopefully you can hear me. I moved my mic.
Man,
hello, Grumpy Pants. How are you?
Grumpy Pants.
Grumpy.
Hey, Bag Boss, I'm talking to you. You're right, Grumpy.
I don't know.
Oh, she's not talking to me.
She's giggling.
She's not talking.
Was he talking to me? He did.
Yes.
See, I knew that's what she was going to say. Oh, I'm not acknowledging that.
He did not specify. Oh, there's Mark.
That's right.
What's up, Mr. Great Shot?
Well, you're the one that I called Bag Boss, Kathy. And you're the only grumpy one on here.
She's not grumpy.
I'm grumpy because you're
normal.
like a rash.
Damn.
When he comes up
And make a lotion for that.
No, when he comes up on camera,
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, Mark. He'll try to brew up some cream for my rash.
Hey, Kathy.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Nick Jones.
Kathy, I can certainly whack up some cream in a couple of minutes for you if you want, and it's all homemade. 100% natural.
You know, there is a problem with that. The neighbor's bull would probably get pissed and kick you while you're doing it.
You got to think about having it off with a bull.
Oh, I only can think of bull because of the bullshit that comes out of your mouth.
And you are you gotta be the most foul-mouthed person on YouTube.
No,
And
I think
I haven't even swore yet.
What did I say? All I said was bullshit. Is that really a foul mouth?
Yeah, it's swearing.
Nah, not really. They say that before late night. I think they can use bullshit on kid shows now. Something.
Am I all right to swear, baby?
I've said much worse than that.
Oh yeah, TVMA.
TV.
Oh, excellent, Kathy.
Hell yeah.
Kathy,
Yes, Nick.
fuck off, you miserable old bat.
It's so lovely to hear your voice, Nick.
How's your lotion on your knees from your friction burns?
They're doing pretty good. It does pretty good.
Well, have they started to scab up yet? Yeah.
Not quite yet.
Well, they've done what? Well, have they done one piss flap this week and the other piss flap next month?
Well, I need to ask Mr. Greatshot a question. So, Mr.
What was that, Kathy?
She had a phone call.
Hang on. I got to ask
phone
Mr.
was ringing.
Greatshot a question. So, Mark, you said I have 5 camper spots. And I told my wife, I said, I know somebody. Well, whatever. It's enough for me. I only have 1 camper. I said, I know somebody that if we go to Texas, we could stay, there and hook up and to the, electricity. That's really what we need, electricity, right? Maybe water,
Electricity, water, and septic.
There you go. Oh, you got the whole
Full hookup, baby.
thing. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Shebang.
And I said, I know somebody's open invitation to come down. She's like, huh, okay. Because we lived in Texas, I lived there 17 years. She lived there a little bit longer than I, and we love Austin. And so, in the surrounding area and all that. New Braunfels, because New Braunfels right up the road from you, down south.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the kids can go
maybe 25, something like that.
Yeah, but it's a little trip.
Go on the tubing on the Guadalupe and
all that stuff. But if the kids can get access to the pool, they don't care anyway. So they don't like other people anyway. So
hey, I feel I'm the same thing. I ain't much on a whole lot of people.
But I mean, there are trips planned, with us going to Grand Canyon and things like that. That's right along the way,
Yeah.
Depends on what route.
Yeah. Drop in for a day or two.
All right.
Yeah.
Just give me a little bit of advance notice and
Oh,
no problem.
absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't drive up and be like, here's my camper. Where can I plug it?
You got to pull the cousin Eddie move. You got to pull the cousin Eddie move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the hook. My shit restart mailbox over.
I've got one guy staying here right now until August the 1st, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it's open until F1 comes into
Okay.
town. I think that's September.
Yep.
I want to say it's September, maybe October. I don't remember right off the top of my head right now.
Well, we had the trip planned later in the year for my oldest birthday at home. The oldest one at home is into food, into dining, into all of that, and we're
Oh,
also
there's
into
some
my
fantastic restaurants.
well, knives, blades, things like that. But we're going to we're going to Utah for the blade show. You look at all the knives, big, like huge, like a gun show, but it's knives and blades and swords and whatever. And then we're going to go to Vegas because Vegas right now has the
I'll
highest
show him a couple that I've made.
Right. Yeah. Oh, love it. Love it. And
I've got a few knives that I've made. I'll show him.
yeah, absolutely. Would be very interested as well. But we're going to Vegas because they have the highest concentration of Michelin star restaurants now in the United States. And so we're going to do the little thing around Vegas. No gambling, really. Just catch some shows and eat some good food and, all that. I don't really
Sounds like fun.
care about gambling at all. But one of the highest rated sushi restaurants in the United States is in Vegas and very into sushi. So,
I love me some sushi.
Oh,
I don't even like cooked fish anymore. Oh, I love me some sushi. Like salmon, I cannot eat it cooked anymore. It just stinks. It smells fishy and it's Now, if you eat it raw, that stuff is butter. It is so good. But
and
eating it cooked, I just can't do it anymore.
Well, the yellowtail
tuna is kind of the same way. Yeah, it's kind of the same way. I mean, if you just sear it, so that say you have a chunk of tuna that's like this thick, and you just got that little eighth of an inch that's cooked on the top and the bottom,
especially
that's perfect. And then just blood red in the middle. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But
then it's okay. I can eat it that way. But if you cook it all the way, it's just
tuna needs to sear because tuna is the mildest flavor. It's the mildest flavor of any of the sushi bites, right? You don't get a lot of flavor, but when you sear that ahi tuna, you get that smoky with the raw fish. Oh man, that is money.
That's good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, Sam's
buddy of mine
is Fritzen, and she says I'm here from my phone.
Okay.
We'll keep it going.
Oh, I see.
Patio all clean shaven and shit.
I know, slowly coming back. I mean, slowly.
I actually shaved today.
Yeah, mine's already coming back.
Oh yeah.
I shaved around the goatee, but yeah, I wanted to be clean shaven for the giveaway show because I don't want to disrespect y'all like that.
That's funny.
I was clean shaven for my little trip to Kentucky, and then I let it grow back out. Down here, I need a little shade on the face. I'm already getting the big time redneck thing going on here. See?
Oh yeah.
So I need a little shade on the face. I don't have to worry about skin cancer on the face and stuff like.
No. Well, if we do get down,
I get a lot of sun down here.
If we do make it down your way, and I'll give you plan notice, we'll coordinate. I am bringing my full disc golf bag with me.
No problem.
Yep.
I can hook you up with plenty of courses around me, and then like I said, I've got 3 baskets in the yard right now.
I know, but you're gonna go play with me, aren't you?
Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
No, yeah, I'm the boss. So if I said, "Oh yeah, I don't think I'm gonna work today," well, I ain't working today. We're gonna play disc golf.
That's right.
Heck yeah, I'm all for it.
Grab another one.
Hell, we can sit here on the back porch and sling plastic into the basket right there in the yard. In a chair. We can sit on a chair drinking a cold beer or a whiskey and forehand some shots. For it's probably. Let's see. Let me look up here. It's probably. I got a basket about 50 feet from me.
Oh, 50
so we
feet.
can sit down and just go. Prink.
Yeah.
Hey, we can just bring some forehand shots at it or something.
Here's what would happen. We'd be sitting in them chairs sipping whiskey. Kids in the pool.
Yeah. Yep.
wife's sitting there. She don't sling plastic. She'll just sit there, and having a
You be
conversation.
talking to my wife.
And I'd be like, I bet I can flick roll this closer to the pin than you can.
It's fine.
I've aced it in the pool.
And be like, all right, but it has to be a flick roll, okay? Tomahawk flick roll.
Yeah.
And then that
See if I
thing
can-
curve around and go to cap and come back around. And I'd probably end up about
Let me see if
40
I can
feet
show you.
from a 50-foot basket.
Well, you guys just convinced me. I just ordered some
See.
sushi, so thank you. It's been a
All
while.
right. Awesome.
There you go.
Definitely not
Okay,
cheap,
let's
but I'm
see.
like, you know what? I
Can
kind
you
of could
see?
go for some sushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yes.
See this?
Oh,
spot
but you got
right
blockers
there?
in the way, man. I'd have to flick it out there and go right between.
No, that's a horseshoe pit. Right,
Yeah,
right
that-
past the rocks there where the horseshoe pit is. The basket's right there.
Oh, I
So
thought
we
it
can
was.
sit in those chairs.
Uh-huh.
We can sit in those chairs right there, and then sling. The basket is right. Let's see if I can point it out. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right above
Right,
the
see
basket.
it. Yep.
I see.
That's where the
Yeah.
basket is. Can you see
You
it?
know,
I don't know if
I
back
could
up
flick
some more.
roll toward whatever that black square is out there and let it curl back.
That's a, yeah. Yeah, that black square is the bottom of a birdhouse. There's
Okay.
a pole going up from that little black square. There's a pole going up. Right there is a birdhouse. Just right
Yep.
there is the basket. So it's
Now,
real
if I was
close.
standing
I mean,
up,
the kids
I'd
can be
probably
sitting there in the
sky
pool,
high
and then we're sitting over there in those chairs. Perfect, you know? It's
perfect.
fun.
Yeah. I'd sky hazard that thing and let it.
Well, if you come down here in July or August, well, maybe not.
Well,
It'd be a bit
yeah, we'd be in the
I get
house.
hot,
And then be
hot,
like,
hot.
hey, let's go throw one.
Yeah.
And then run back in.
Yep.
But you can't
Pretty
leave
much.
the plastic out, it'll melt.
Yeah.
Well, you jump in and out of the pool. So, you know, you get in the pool, cool off, and then you get out and you throw 3 or 4, or, you know, throw your whole bag basically at it, you know, and
Yeah.
then go get them, come back, set them down, get back in the pool, cool off.
Yep. So, do you have sandburrs around there?
Nope, not in my yard.
Okay, good. Yeah, we used to get those what do they call it? Goat heads. Them burrs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's some places it's just filthy with them. And we went to cut a Christmas
There's
tree.
a
At a tree farm where you pick the tree and you cut it yourself. And I got down on the
Yep.
ground and I put my knee down and I went to saw the bottom of the tree and I came up off that knee and I had 6 goat heads stuck in between my patella and the bone right there. I was like, and they're like, they had a sign up that said, "We will cut for you," and I was like, "Here's the saw."
That's hilarious.
Thank you very much.
All right.
But yeah, these were live trees. Of course, they go out there and trim them all, through the season. They shape them just right.
Yeah.
And we picked, we walk around them and we're like, well, this side would go toward that wall over there. But this is beautiful. You pick the right tree and then you get it cut and they wrap it. You get it home. And you're like, so which side was I going to point where? It's like,
Right.
Yeah. Spin it again.
Yeah.
Spin it back this way. Yeah.
The one thing we kind of like, we always get a live tree because they're different. You get a different experience every year, from a live tree. You get like a gap spot,
The smell too.
spots and
They're
the
good, Kathy.
smell and all of the stuff together. And once you get all the ornaments on it, it looks beautiful either way, But my
And then
rule,
plus, with it being a live tree, you have that nice smell to it and everything too.
but my thing is, I get the tree from the car to the house. I put it on the base. I get it level. I stand it up where it needs to be. Y'all let me know when you have the lights on, and I'll come back in as we decorate it. Because I ain't stringing lights on it. And I don't care how they do it. They can do it tight. They can do it full. They can do it loose. I don't care. Once you get the lights on and you're happy with it, then we'll come in and hang ornaments. But I did my part. you know.
I
If
pretty
you don't
much-
want to hear a
I've
bunch
got
of,
the
if you don't want to hear a bunch of cussing, don't have me help with the lights.
Are you talking about like a Christmas tree or?
Yeah, any
Oh
of
my,
those.
yeah.
Those
All right.
freaking
Uh-huh.
lights with all the little knobbies sticking out, they tangle all up in. No, I'm like,
Nope. That's why I only have a garland. I've only put a garland up there because I'm like, A, I don't feel like fussing with the lights. B, I don't feel like, constantly picking up the tree from the damn cats knocking it over. It's just not worth it.
golly. Man, I can say more.
Yep.
I can say more cuss words than sailors have heard in their life. 20 minutes trying to string lights out. It's just like they're made
man.
to tangle on themselves. That they're
Yep.
it's like I just
I
want to
agree.
strip a
They're just rough.
LED. Just
Most of the time, I let my wife do all of that. We got one of those fake trees, and she'll decorate it, and she loves to do all that, all the decorating around the house,
there you go.
all that kind of stuff. And I don't care, personally.
We have
She can do whatever she wants to as far as all that goes, and I'm good with it.
we have like 14 plastic freaking bins out there in this shed. And every single year I bring them in and they put every goddamn decoration out every year. And every year I'm like, I don't remember this one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like it's too much for my brain to focus on each year. So eventually, 20 years down the road, I'll be like, okay, I've seen everything. But there's always something
I
like,
remember them now,
have we always had this? Yeah. Been here for 12 years. I'm like, okay, now it's recorded,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom keeps buying more crap every
Oh,
year.
I
I'm
was
like, you're getting older. You gotta knock it off. Just put up what you have. You have boxes and boxes. Just stop because I don't want to inherit all this shit.
But it's stuff you collect over time. And if you tried to get it all at once, it would cost a couple $1,000s, but you collect little things over time. We have this carousel of like it plays music and it has it's like a horses on, and they bounce up and down and go around and stuff. And it's porcelain. It was expensive and it moves and does the thing. And I like having all the stuff out. I just don't want to have to worry about putting it out.
Yep.
Years back.
Yeah, I'm not the decorating kind of guy. So, but luckily my wife is, and that way everything when people come over for like Christmas dinner and stuff like that, the house looks great. It's all decorated with all this garland like all above the fireplace, and there's stuff everywhere you look.
Yeah, they do all that.
She's all into that.
I wake up one morning, I come downstairs, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Christmas time." Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, wait a minute. It must be getting close to Christmas. Shit. Same thing with like Halloween or 4th of July or all that kind of stuff. I got stuff in boxes for all those seasons.
Right, Sam.
She can deal with that.
All right, Sam, have fun.
But
I swear I posted a photo. Go ahead.
When I see green stuff, I want to get my hedge clippers, but at least Garland doesn't.
No, I love my garland. It fits perfect around that too. I mean, I just found it at Big Lots. I'm like, that looks nice. And I got it home and I measured it. And it was just like, it's screwed into hooks. And I don't have the hooks fully in, but it fits like perfect. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And it was like $10. And I bought like LED string lights and I just strung it on there once. And that's it. And they're on there all the time.
You know how you go to the store and stuff doesn't look as big because you're in like a store with like 30-foot roof and like everything's huge. Yeah. There was just like 3 candle thing where one candle was tall, one candle was medium, one candle was small, and it had all this garland around the bottoms of the candles and everything. And I'm like, nobody wanted to buy it. And I'm like, and they marked it down. It was like $15. And I was like, you know what? Cool. $15. I'll take it. Put it in the cart. I should have known. It barely fit in the cart. And then I got it up there. and paid for it, and I had to put it in my trunk to get it home and all this shit. Got it home. I went and when I put it on the dining table, there was barely enough room to put a plate on each side of it, sideways. You know, of course, we had a long dining table, but it was like people trying to eat had like stuff sticking out over their plate, you know, and it's like, get that shit out of
Pushing
here,
garland out of the way so you can eat.
you know. That was the last time I tried to
the
contribute.
dining room table I got in this place. It's stupid. Big
Oh,
old
our
round
dining
thing.
table. I went to eat. And I was working on editing some of the documentary stuff, and I was getting all the pictures loaded over, and I was doing all the stuff. And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do this and that." It was plain, dead plain. And I said,
Hi, lady.
you know, I'll
I had to mute.
go back into
Oh,
editing,
yeah.
you know. And so I went to Applebee's and I had the Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp. That's really good, by the way.
I bought you some sushi.
And
That sounds awesome.
came home. Well, I was at the restaurant. My wife sends me a picture, and our dining table is like this, and everything on it was on. And I'm like,
What the hell?
wow. So it has these 3 legs on each side. It's a double pedestal, and it has
Yeah.
like 3,
Loose.
like you can stretch
You want
it
some
out.
sushi?
Like 3
You want some
leaves.
fish? We'll
But
give
we
you guys
had
a
it
little
down
bit
to
of
like
the rice
1
and
leaf in
sushi.
it.
You'll like it. Yeah.
And one of the legs broke, and
No.
it just
Oh,
dumped
sorry.
everything on the floor. I mean, that was like a $12,000,
oops.
like way back, you know, way back. It was like an
Yeah.
actually furniture's like special, like their elite stuff, and it had all this inlay work and all that. The problem with it is all that inlay work and the multiple layers of wood, it creates weak spots over time. It's not something. It's not an heirloom you pass down. Put it that way. And we have a hutch that matches the table, and it was like a $12,000 set, but we only paid like $5,000 for it because we got it used. But we've only had it like maybe 8 years, and now it's falling apart. So,
Oh, dang.
and I've glued that
That's
thing.
terrible.
Yeah, we've had it. It's been breaking down. I've been gorilla gluing it back together, but you glue it back together and it breaks here. It won't break on the glue. If I could just take all the layers apart, put them back together, it would last forever. But I told her, I said, I texted back and I said, that table's a lost cause. I said, that's done. I'm done with that, you know. And she's like, yeah, not how I was planning on clearing the table off. Just dumped everything.
Oh, I chucked my dining room table
Okay.
when I redid my floor.
Thank you.
I was like, done.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a nice set, right? Beautiful set of furniture. Beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I mean, if I took the cam in there and I showed you
It was,
like all of the inlay and everything this table has, it's fancy. Like hold your finger out to sip your champagne, but it's weak as hell. You know,
That's
it has
dining
all
room
the,
table. Oh, you can see the
Yeah.
longhorn over the door.
Oh, I see somebody
And the
behind
missus,
me.
real quick.
Yep.
She's like, get me off the camera.
I don't want to be on camera, honey.
For the little bugger.
Mhm.
Figure out some sort of little pour here. Let's see. What do I want here?
Oh, I need to check something right quick.
Good. You are good.
Well, I forgot about somebody that
I got this nasty bottle of bourbon.
What's
Jody.
that? I don't know. I'm still learning bourbon. That's why I was slightly bummed. I lost
is that
There you
Wait,
go.
is that
There you
Blanton's?
go.
That's Blanton's.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I got it. I
Oh
traded a
no,
bottle
it's
of
not a
Yates
great
Taylor for it, and I
bourbon.
don't like it.
It's just allocated as hell,
Yeah.
and people would spend a lot of
Yeah.
money on it. They way overpaid for a bottle of Blanton's. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
I mean that's the way it goes.
Have a little
All
bourbon,
right,
but
let me check something real quick.
I have some bourbon, but it's still only Thursday, and I don't want to dive into that. Don't feel like taking a 2-hour nap again while I should be working like I did this morning. Whoops.
Oops, that didn't work.
I need to
Really.
get it.
I forgot how you changed
Oh,
the,
I know how I did it before.
the
Hang
camera
on.
setting.
I got to email
Mm-mm.
myself. I need to
There we go,
email
settings.
myself.
Camera.
Stop showing your butt to everybody, Lucy.
Front camera.
Record,
Back.
mail, and then
I don't know.
send
Can you see? I
myself.
can't see anything.
Prepare an order.
That didn't work.
You want me to install that? Not good.
There it is. Now I'll have it on my phone, and then I can copy the link.
That didn't work.
Then I can go
Uh-oh.
to.
Come on, Avalanche. Come on,
Trying to
Avalanche.
swap
There
the
you go.
camera
Just
around
dump her
so
down.
I could show you.
Or not?
Now it's working. All right, here, hang on. Here you go, Chadio. I was going to show you the.
There that is.
Oh, it's just like a big delay.
Yep.
Never mind.
You were showing it for a second, and then camera flipped over. Yeah, I need to pay you a visit at some point for sure. Holy crap!
Okay, got it. I just always have to remind myself of how to do this. Okay. You're getting a few bottles. You're getting a few bottles.
I've got. Oh, no, that's vegetable oil. We keep up there too. I think I have like 2 bottles.
Yeah, vegetable
Regular
oil is not the same. I see cutting.
No, I just keep it up there so when I'm cooking, I can just grab it from the top of the fridge real quick and go. I need to get like a shelf. I need to clean my house. That's for sure. My dining room's been storage for 9 months. Oops.
Ugh.
So Raven said there's a cat that is going to attack Chedio. I don't know. That cat is just like
She doesn't know how to attack me. Bailey doesn't know how to attack me. So I'm not worried.
that cat.
Plus,
is
she's
just-
facing the other way, so that's a, she's showing me trust.
Y'all have
What?
light coming in through your windows. That is amazing. It's 9:30 here.
Well, it's only 7:30 here. It's going to be light for another hour or so, and I have my LEDs already on.
Oh, it's 8:30. 8:30
I know.
here. It's still light.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could
The
talk
sun's
about
down
this.
below the horizon, but it's still light
Let me see when the
Oh,
sun
yeah.
sets. I think it's 8.
for a little while.
8:20.
Oh man, Jody, have you tried this Andalusia?
Nope, I have not.
Oh,
You gonna send me a
son.
sample?
I cannot wait until you get out here to try this. Either that, or I'm gonna have to send you a couple of samples of the mail. One
Well,
of the
you
two.
know, we
Because
could.
this stuff is so good.
We could swap them.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
I can send you some Lincoln Pinch, and you can send me some of
Oh.
that, and we could swap.
All right.
samples.
I'll send you 3 different versions of Andalusia. I've got 3 different expressions of Andalusia I can send you.
Then I
I've
will
got this
send
one,
you.
which is their triple pot distill,
Mhm.
and then I've got a peated version, which is
Mhm.
really lightly peated, and then I've got one that's called Striker, and that's really tasty too. But
And
this
I
one,
will
the triple
send you
distill,
a
man,
4 ounce pour of Lincoln Pinch. How about that?
All right then.
Mr. Great Shot.
Consider
He's
that
he's
done. I'll
he's
go
not in
ahead
Iowa, but he is in heaven. Hey, Phil.
Oh, serious. I'm in Austin, Texas. Serious. Oh, there's
Twilight
Phil.
weed whacking.
Good evening, brother. How you doing?
Nice.
Well,
Well, come up for a
Phil-
drink.
Weed whacking
Phil's
and
actually a
mowing.
member, so he didn't have to be
I
present to
feel
win.
for
but
you.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
Nor did I. I was just like, wow. I thought I had great chance getting 1, 2, or 3, and I was like, oh, bummer. But you're right. You said you're like, it doesn't matter how many you have. It's just it hits what it hits.
It hits what it hits, but I'll tell
Mhm.
you, man, I spun this wheel a few times, and I felt pretty bad for Fulton. He really, I mean, he had a lot of entries.
Oh, he had a
He
bunch.
had I think 5 or 6 more than me. Yeah. So he was up there with me. We were up there in the 230s, and
Yeah, I know.
but Kathy had the third most. So I mean, it was like okay.
Yeah,
It finally
Kathy,
fell on
and then-
someone with a high number. But yeah, it was cool to see
But-
lower.
Big Daddy H had triple digits. He's been every week.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
he's not lucky on the put me in for tens, but he had a lot of entries
We'll
too.
get
He had
some
over
more.
100.
Right back.
You know,
Shark
I mean,
man, good.
Shark. He's for the
Killed
next
it
quarter.
today.
Well,
I mean, I'm like, well, I'm not going to hit it, so I'll just donate $5 just to kind of get some points in there. So I'm up to 6. Woo! But I'd like to buy one of the snifters from you. So I mean, I don't know if we could work a deal. I could purchase one from you, or maybe send it to.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can
know.
work, but the problem is, I have to make them. So-
I know. I know. So I know the price is going to be up because even on Amazon,
no,
just
I
the
mean,
basic.
I will let you know because
Not
I'm
live
planning
stream.
on printing a whole bunch of those and just taking a day where I just peel vinyl all day.
We were talking about kitchen
But
table.
I mean,
the
we're
house.
talking hours and
We
hours
showed
of
it at
work
the
to
kitchen
make these.
Oh, I know. I know. I mean, right now I'm
Okay.
gonna surprise my neighbor. I think his birthday is a few weeks before mine, and I'm buying him a 3D printed Buddy Christ
So-
from Dogma. So
Nice.
So
yeah,
Cyrus,
8 inches, huge.
who won? Jimmy Licari won first prize. Big Daddy H won second. Kathy Bates won third. And it was all wheel names. So here's the way I do it. I take my document where I keep up with it all, through the whole thing, and everybody gets their entry. And I paste it in wheel of names, and I hit shuffle one time. Then, when it's time for the draw, I go to the wheel of
What?
names. I hit shuffle.
What are y'all talking about?
So 3 shuffles and spin.
What?
Whoever comes up is
Down.
the first place. And it took Jimmy Licari a minute to claim.
Yeah, I
the
know. I
prize.
was like, but
It
when
was
I added
all-
him, and
it was like right down to the wire.
I added
and-
him, and that told me he was still there. He might have just stepped away. So when I added him, it was like, okay, he's technically in the chat, but he's not
Right.
active.
Active.
So that's why I was adding everybody just to see if they're there.
He came back at the last second and said, "Here," and I was like, "All right." And I did get the email from him immediately. So,
Yep.
and I did send him the link to this, but I don't know if he wants to come up.
I don't
So-
know if I don't think I've seen him on a panel. So yeah,
And
but
not-
I mean,
and I don't pressure anyone for that because we're not all personalities, public personalities, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't.
I'm not a public
Everybody
personality.
has it. And but I did send him the link just to say, "Hey, you won. If you want to come up, you're welcome." But yeah, Jimmy Licari won first.
Jesus. Yeah.
Big Daddy H, and I will tell everybody, Big Daddy H is my father. And when he was here, he was eyeballing this glass.
You can
Okay.
give him that specific one, you know.
He's getting this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates
I
also
want to
won.
give it to him.
Now, I didn't do it. You know why? Here's why. It is so hard to make these. And I only had one left. I will make more, but
Nice.
he is entering his name. He is trying to win to get the prize. If I just give it to him, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he won this.
Oh, I gave my dad a
get
glass,
it.
and I didn't expect him to react the way he did. I gave him an old Southern Comfort rocks glass from 70s. That was in the house since my mom bought the house since the bar was built. I gave him. I'm like, you might want this. He's like, what? It's wrapped up nice, and I gave it to him. And he opened it up, and he's like, oh my god, your mom still has these? I'm like, well, now there's a set of 5 left, but you have one. I'm taking the other 5. I have 2 here. I have a bunch of rocks glasses. I don't have any like Glencairn or whiskey snifters.
Oh, hang on a spot here. Oh, I see. I'm not sure if I can send Phil a link.
Oh, cheap factories.
Well,
Phil.
yeah, it's called a number. I think it's called a 59 or something like that. It's just a cheap factory second cigar. Dominican Republic filler and
shoot.
But is it decent?
They're decent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a decent cigar. I like them. This is a smaller version. This is like the maybe 45-minute version of it. I have the bigger one. It's called the number 99. It's about the size of my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the hour and a half version.
See, that's what
they're good cigars.
That's what we need when I come is an hour and a half version.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll smoke.
Oh yeah. I'll go up the road and pick up another pack of those because they're good. I mean, and the number 99s are about, I think they're about $2.50 a cigar, basically. But you get them in a block, about this big a square.
You don't have to
and
spend a lot.
They're good. I mean, they're
no.
Yeah, you don't need a $20 cigar. I mean, geez.
I've done 4, but I got some decent ones in here. One of these in here's like a $15 cigar, and I got 5 cigars for $20 free shipping. I was like, done.
Nice.
And one's like an $11 cigar, so I was like, okay, because I was looking up the individual.
I've had a few of those, and personally, I'm not that impressed. They're some of them are pretty decent, and some of them are like, they're all right.
It's fine.
Romeo and Julieta and
I like Romeo and Julieta. I don't think they're worth their price. I mean, they should be about a $5-6 cigar. Then, that's fine. But when they're like $8 to $12, it's like,
that's right.
No. I try to send them a link in Facebook.
Yeah, my grandfather, I'm not sure what he used to smoke. Oh my God, he smoked some of the stinkiest damn cigars I've ever smelled in my entire life.
I'm smoking.
Oh my God, he smoked some rough ass stuff.
Well, now I have some,
and his buddy would buy the $25 to $35 cigars and never light them up. He would just chew them and keep on chewing them until he chewed the whole damn cigar up.
Well, I have 4 cigars in my
each his own.
I have 4 cigars in this humidor, and it's called Chillin' Moose. It's a Connecticut blend.
Chillin' Moose.
Yeah, and when they first came out, they were $1.99. Then they were $2.99. Then they were $3.99. Then they were $4.99, and now they're $5.99. So I have 4 of them. I bought at like $2.99 because I recognized how good they were. They're awesome, dude. They burn even, slow, smooth. They're complex. They're darker cigar. It's not. Yeah, Chillin' Moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time I do a nice pair. Go ahead.
I used to get this one cigar. It was called Vasco da Gama. I would buy those by the box, and they were a pretty good cigar, about this size. They're finger size cigar, so they wouldn't last an hour or so maybe. Yeah, I personally like the bigger ones that are like the size of your thumb, or what do they call them, like a Churchill, something along those size.
I think they're called
something.
stub. It's like a stub. I
There's
forgot what they
I
call
like
them.
something that's going to last me an hour and a half. You know.
Mhm.
well, there's Tornados, there's Robustos, there's Churchills, there's
Connecticut's,
different. I mean, it's all
Mm.
nub. Yeah, you're talking about those nubs. Some of those nubs are really good, like the nub style
well,
cigars.
yeah, but they only last about 20 minutes, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're hot boxing, at the end.
Well, that's
Mhm.
not bad. Cheers.
Yeah. But yeah, next time I do what did I call it
Yeah,
now? Oh, nice pair. I'd like you guys to come up for the show. I know it was last minute
I will.
last weekend, but probably in a few weeks.
Yeah,
I'll do
I
it
was
on a
down
Saturday.
in
Yeah.
I was in my brother's ranch out in the middle of nowheres, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm
and
thinking
cooking
of
up crawfish. We wound up cooking up 175 pounds of crawfish.
Jeez. Hell yeah. I'm thinking of the 18th of June, so I don't know if you guys are available then.
Yeah, I'll be up.
Yeah, be
The
fun.
last crawfish bowl
Yeah,
I
Cubans.
did, I ordered.
No, Robert.
I
Cubans aren't
ordered
illegal in the U.S.
308.
now. That they've lifted the embargo.
I thought it was reinstated. Uh-oh.
Where is it?
I think it was like
They're
after
not
about
that good
2 months.
anymore.
No, they're bad.
They've wore out the soil,
Yeah.
and most of the good rollers and stuff that used to live in Cuba have moved on to other places if they can,
That's
and
exactly
they're still rolling stuff up.
that's exactly my point. Cuba used to have really good cigars,
Mm-hmm.
but when
Well, they
they
did. I've
when
smoked
the
some actual
embargo
Cubans.
came in,
Oh.
they ran to Nicaragua and Colombia. The
Mhm.
master,
Exactly.
it's like a master distiller at a for bourbon or whiskey or something. They ran out, and those ones that were left were the seconds, right? So
Yeah.
when all that shit hit, Cuban cigars went,
Yep.
downhill because those guys are rich motherfuckers. They just ran off to Nicaragua and Colombia. That's why Cohiba
Yeah, but the
used to be
mhm.
exclusively Cuban, is now Colombian Cohibas. Or is it Nicaraguan?
Yeah.
I think it's Colombia.
Hmm.
But the Cohibas you get with the
Yeah.
black and yellow checker thing on it, it's not the same. It's not.
Yeah.
Those aren't Cuban cigars.
No, I've had one once.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
just
from
like,
Kentucky, and we've grew tobacco up there, since I was a little kid. I always remember going by, and I've tended tobacco. went out in the field and cut tobacco and hung it up in the barns and everything else,
Mhm.
And so there's two basic types of tobacco in Kentucky. You have your normal tobacco, and then you have a dark fire tobacco. The dark fire is a bigger leaf, and it's darker green, and then that's the one they smoke. They'll smoke it with like hickory,
Mhm.
and they use that to dry it out. And then you have your regular like the yellow looking like the what would it be, the
Oh.
what's the name of the
Robert, you haven't had a good
it starts
cigar,
with a
man.
C.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I mean, this is just the daily.
But
I was at the liquor store and I said, "Yeah, I'm low on pipe tobacco. Screw it. I'll just get the Swishers to get me through the night."
Well, I tell you what, I'm not a cigar aficionado. Okay, I don't claim to know a lot, but
Yeah, neither.
Romeo and Juliet makes some good cigars. Macanudo,
mhm.
if you're selective, you can get some good
Yeah.
cigars. Oliva makes decent cigars, and
Mm.
out of those, I kind of toss around between them. My father is Nicaraguan, and I don't care. I like Colombia cigars better than Nicaraguan, and I like Connecticut, better than even Nicaraguan. The Nicaraguan cigars are stronger.
Yeah.
They tend to be more off-putting to me, and I don't like them And I know that my father Opulencia won like gold for cigars, and I went and spent $23 on each cigar, and got my dad and I a my father Opulencia, and we smoked those, and we did not like them near as much as we liked the Colombian cigars. And here's the deal: if you're into Scotch, there's Speyside, Isla, Highland, all this different stuff. And if you get into a groove with a single malt Scotch that you like from a certain region, this one may win all the gold medals, but it's not going to be your flavor profile. It's not going to be what you like, you know. And it's the same way with cigars.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like for me, you know, this is dark enough. You know, the Connecticut wrapper is kind of what I prefer.
Yeah, I like the
It's
blood.
a little lighter. I don't like the Menudo, you know, the really dark black wrappers. It's a little too strong for me as far as my taste.
Yeah.
So, you know, to each his own. It's the same thing with whiskey. You know, everybody likes a different kind of whiskey, or, you know, a proof or something like that. And it's fine. You know, I'm perfectly fine with that. I have smoked a couple of actual Cuban cigars that were, you know, from back in the day, and oh my God, those, you know, those were really good. Anyway, those are the ones that you smoke all the way down to, you know, this last little bit right there. You hold it like this right here. You're going, you know,
It's gone.
The last little bit of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those were really good.
I had one 10 years
Over here,
ago.
you know, it's not.
People ask me all the time, what
good
bourbon should I drink? And I say, the bourbon that you like is what you should drink. You know, don't. I mean, I can tell you the different flavor profiles of different, like, higher rye bourbons, wheated bourbons, of ones with higher barley count, ones that are aged longer, this and that and the other. But it all comes down to sweet to dry. Do I like complexity or not? Do I like pepper, black pepper over whatever? It all comes down to what your personal preference is. You should drink what the frick you like to drink.
Yeah. Right. B-Wizzle, that's not a cigar, right, Cyrus?
Well, Robert and friends, we were just talking about a Cuban cigar, and Cubans are now going downhill pretty quick. And like Mark pointed out, the soil, you know, they've stripped it of nutrients, and the master growers have moved away.
Exactly.
And so you're getting like Kid B, like Class C version of a cigar from Cuba right now. It would be like,
I mean, there's still a few good rollers there, but you know, if you're starting off with junk tobacco, you're gonna wind up with junk cigars. It's just that simple.
It would be like if Jimmy and Eddie Russell left Wild Turkey and went and started something called, you know, Wild Farkey. Wild Farkey would be better than Wild Turkey in about 4 years, right? And it would be consistently better after that. And once their stockpile of shit ran out, they would go, and this one would go, what? Because your master distillers are the ones that control the flavor profile, you know. And at that point in time, about 8 years from now, we would all be talking about Wild Farkey is the best and Wild Turkey sucks.
Yeah.
And I just made up a freaking stupid name. But anyway, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, if they left, and that's what happened.
But you have to, you got to, you know, change the crop up a little bit. You have to reintroduce the nutrients and stuff back to the soil that the tobacco wants and makes the tobacco better.
Well, and that's where airplane comes in. Is you can spread all of that crap, the manure all over the field and let it, but you got to keep up with that because you have to put the nutrients back in that you're taking out. I mean,
Exactly.
people,
Most of the time,
you use your cell phone. Okay. Your battery is the nutrients for your cell phone. You deplenish
there you
those
go.
nutrients. You have to put some back
Yep.
in. So you plug the cord in and you're
Exactly.
replenishing the soil, the power of the phone. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No.
Yes. Oh, Phil, I got them. They are on the other shelf over there. But yes, I did
Bailey.
get them.
Come here.
I did.
Wait.
I haven't. I just got back from Kentucky. I got them right before I left. I put them on the shelf. I went to shoot the documentary. I just got back yesterday,
Yeah.
and I had to get ready for the show. I haven't had a lot of time to focus on it, but yeah, I did get them, and they were in good order, good shape, all that.
I'm not sure.
And during my
I'm not
giveaway
sure if I can
show,
send Phil
think
the link.
probably. Oh, did you send him the link?
No, that's not it. No, I'm not sure if I can. I don't know that I have him on Messenger.
Hold on, let me do it.
I've got Chad.
Okay, please do.
It's long. It's very, very long, Phil, but it'll get you
Yeah,
to where you need to get to.
I agree, sirs. You would think that these people that over there they would know about how to manage the soil better for the crop, but apparently they don't.
Well,
back in Kentucky,
I mean,
they wouldn't manage. We would rotate crops. It would be rye this time, and then corn next time, and then after that it would be soybeans. And you rotate the crop to invigorate the soil. But over there, I guess they don't really know that
and
much
a lot
about
of
it or something, or they
farmers.
just don't have the time to do anything else.
Yep. We learned from the
Well,
30s.
I mean, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Is
Sorry,
people
I'm dressed
think-
down. I just came out from mowing, so weed
Awesome.
whacking. So,
But that's the thing with
There he
with
is.
like cigar growing, whiskey making, all this stuff is people don't stop and think about all of the steps that go into it, right? And if any, you got sushi. If any one of these steps are off, you're gonna have a subpar product, right?
I like to eat Susie.
It's
I mean
attention to
sushi.
detail. And people think,
Yeah.
to be a farmer, I just need a bunch of land. No, you have to. Yes, you need a bunch of land. Then you have to cultivate it. Then you have to, spread fertilizer all over. And the reason we call it fertilizer, it's cow manure and chicken shit, right? You spread it all over there, and it puts nutrients back into the soil. Because when plants are eating and growing, they're drawing nutrients out of the soil. Eventually, if you don't fertilize your fields or whatever, all the nutrients are gone, and then you've got a wasteland. I mean, you
that
have
crop.
to.
And we don't have that fertilizer here for the most part. We get 70% of our fertilizer from places like Russia and Ukraine.
Really?
Oh yeah,
They have a lot of
yeah,
shit over there.
huge. Yeah. That's why they're worried about the price of. Sorry, I'm going down this road. That's why they're worried about the price of produce going up so much this summer. We haven't quite hit the effect of it yet. But that's because the farmers' crops aren't growing yet. They've had to spend 3-4 times the amount on fertilizer they normally would. Which could they spend more money on that stuff? It's got to pass on.
They have
So
to pass it along.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then with the gas prices, that adds into it too. I mean, I'm going to the grocery store now, and where I was spending $200, I'm spending $300 now.
yeah,
Just because of shipping cost and everything has gone up. Everything.
I didn't mean this to go down that route. Sorry.
No, but it's
airplane.
true. It's just the truth, But I mean, I used to teach my kids when they were younger. Look at this pencil, okay? So there's carbon, lead, pencil. Somebody made this piece. Wood turning, this. But what about the middle? Someone had to go into a mine, get ore from a rock. They had to put that into smelting, get the pure metal out. Chemistry is involved for aluminum and all this stuff. They make that. Then you have a rubber eraser. Okay, rubber doesn't grow fucking naturally. They have to make that. So even in a number 2 lead pencil, like the
You get
standard, there is all of these different companies involved in producing what is required for you to use something that you would just throw up into the ceiling and stick it.
Never did that. Never.
Oh, I never did that either. I was a good boy.
I never did that.
I did, but
Yeah, but you think about it. The graphite for the lead, the aluminum for the hot ferrule, the wood for the pencil. I mean, that graphite doesn't grow in that pencil. Even the paint that's on the outside
they have
of the pencil.
to have the yellow dye number 4 or whatever the frick it is that they painted, and then the black paint that says NO2 number 2.
There's so many different things that have to come together.
Even the little plastic things on the end of your shoelaces that keep them from fraying apart. There's a company that makes plastic, and they get that and they put it on there and they shrink it down with the heat, and it seals it off. I mean, the little metal ring in your shoe that makes the laces come together where they don't eat through all the other material. All of this stuff is like all these different companies like making raw material to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
So Chadio, how's the Avalanche doing?
3-0 right now, Avs.
Do you know?
Oh, I have it up on the screen. They scored 3 goals in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
2 minutes, 12 seconds. There you go.
They scored 2 goals in 15 seconds. So there you go. That was awesome.
Oh, I wish we were competitive again.
Yeah. Poor Red Wings.
Ugh. They're either dead wings or they are the best of the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only sport I tend to watch
Mm-hmm.
anymore is football.
Yeah.
That's really about all I keep up with. I'll watch golf here and there, but it's like watching grass.
I watch golf a little bit, and that's
Football,
about
if you have
it.
if you have a team, you have to commit yourself to 16 games.
No.
Now, if they're a good team, you don't mind committing yourself to playoffs and things like that. But if you got baseball, hockey, basketball, anything else,
games.
you got to commit yourself to
Phil,
X number of games.
Phil, I'm in Texas. The Cowboys are my team. Do you think I'm
Sorry.
committing much?
I'm
No.
sorry.
I know. I mean, I've been a Cowboys fan for
I mean, they're
20
gonna
plus
run.
years.
12
And I
games.
still pull for them, although I know they're going to shoot themselves in the foot.
They've won
It
a
just
Super Bowl.
happens.
We haven't.
But they had more than one Super Bowl, but still, it's been years ago.
They've never gone 0-16.
No.
We should make a pact one year just to get into some obscure sport and like just follow it and do like a
Curling.
Well, like highlight.
Rolls.
like lacrosse or fucking water polo or something.
Sit cross.
Cornhole.
We'll do a pool for 50 cents a game. We'll throw in. We'll see who comes. I'm talking cricket. We'll follow cricket.
There you go.
That's tough.
I've never actually watched a cricket match. I don't know how that's played.
Well, I do because
I've
I
heard
live
of it,
in
and I
Japan.
kind of know. They use a big flat fucking baseball bat sort of thing, and
There's some
but
weird.
I don't know
fucking
how
rules,
it's actually
but
played.
The hurler's his job, what he's trying to do is break the sticks behind the batter.
And the
The
batter
batter's trying to
defending the
defend it.
wicket.
Yeah.
right? And yeah, and if he hits it and they catch it on the fly, I mean, a lot of rules from baseball come from cricket. So if they catch it on the
Okay.
fly, that's 1 out. He gets 3 outs. And
Mhm.
but they go through. My only thing with cricket is they go through the whole freaking lineup, the whole team, in one day, and the next day, you know what they scored. Now you have to either outscore them or you get out before
Mhm.
you
The
outscore them.
next day.
So there's no
Oh,
back.
cricket can go days. Yeah, cricket goes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Check baseball. No thrashes at the
If they're
baseball.
no pussies, they don't wear gloves. So
Yeah.
I'm not watching
Yeah,
any
it's a
sport. I
long
mean, the only
game.
sport that I really watch much at all is golf, and I guess about the last year and a half or so, I really haven't watched a whole lot of that. I've
Yeah.
gotten sidetracked with
No,
work
I
and
mean,
everything else so I
I just
haven't seen able to keep up with it.
yeah, I just kind of keep because there's so many rounds. I mean, it's like baseball, right? They build their stats over the
Yeah.
time. But I'm watching a couple of guys, and I don't watch every week or whatever. Usually on Sunday, Dad and I get on the phone and he calls it watching pasture pool. That's what he calls it. And we will just sit there with the phone on speakerphone, and we'll try to sync our telecast up so we're kind of in sync. But we usually only watch like an hour or so of the ending, like the very end of it.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes somebody's like 23 under and the closest one's 19 under, and there ain't no way they're freaking gonna, get there or whatever.
Exactly.
But
Yeah. You gotta get a clear winner.
Jordan, what's his name? Spieth.
Jordan Spieth?
Jordan Spieth. Man, I watched him choke so many times over the past years, but he is doing really good now. He is in the running
That's good.
almost every time, and I like Jordan. And
That's good. I like him too. I mean, he's a younger guy.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, compared to us, he's a younger guy.
he's got
And,
he's
but
got
he's doing
several
really
years
good.
ahead of him. Yeah,
We'd all be in the seniors tour. So
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
be in the gray
I'm
old
in the
forest.
seniors. I'm in the grandmasters in disc golf.
Oh,
Not
you know how they
seniors. I'm
say
grandmasters in disc golf.
PPC International, Tournament Players Club.
Mhm.
We would be in the BDC International. Broken Dick Club.
BBC?
That's
Broken Dick Club. There you go.
What you talking about? You speak for yourself. My shit still works.
okay. It works as good as it did once, and then
Yeah.
It satisfies
Man, we
me.
used
That's all. That's all that's important.
There you go.
we used to be able to nail 5. I won't finish that sentence. I know it's TBMA, but we used to be able to pin them down, and now you can't
Mm,
do 6 in a night anymore. I can guarantee you that.
What?
Well, maybe.
well,
maybe.
no, that's because
Six-
you're married.
What the fuck you talking about? 6 in the night.
Yeah.
I was 18. Never did 6 in a night. Are you kidding me?
Well, it depends on how long the night is.
I don't care how long the night can be a week. And
Right?
6 in a night. What the? All right, ladies. There you go. There's the guy right there. Because
6 in it. Well, no, I can't do it now.
two and I'm spent. 2 and I'm done. You're lucky to get 2 out of me. Just saying.
Oh, I used to be able to do 4 easy.
4 easy, he says.
Yeah. But that was when my name was Slick Willie and I was a porn star.
There you go. 4 easy. Holy crap.
No.
I guess you get the right motivation, and the other person is quiet. You're not having to do all the work,
Right. Well, yeah, you got to make it work. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get like.
I mean, if there's 10 acres of field to plow, and you got to plow them all by yourself, that's hard work. But if you got some help, then maybe you can, maybe.
Yeah.
I usually don't have any help. It's usually me.
The only problem is you can't just keep working because your plow gets soft, and then you gotta,
You
you
need a
gotta.
mechanic to come out there and
Fuel up.
get it going again.
It's called a fluffer.
Yeah. Well, that would be a third person. I don't need a third person.
Third wheel. No, thank you.
That would just be one more at the end of the 6. You have to do 7.
All right, we're going to try this one.
Uh-oh.
All right, here you go, Jody.
All
It's
right.
something I won from 21090.
21090.
What is
What
it?
is it?
That's 4-gate.
Okay.
4-gate.
4-gate.
Never heard of it.
4-gate batch.
Oh shit! I gotta get
18.
something. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Batch
4-gate.
18.
Batch
Little
18.
sample from. We'll give that a little swirl.
290.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to.
That's
what? You tell me about it when I get back because I have to be.
Alrighty. He's muted. Good. Yeah.
Oh, he went to take a leak.
Yeah. You should tell him what you think when he gets back.
Okay. It's got an odd nose to it. It's a little bit different.
Hmm.
I'm getting a lot of proof on it right now.
Yeah. Forgot what I still have
Normal
left.
bourbon notes. Vanilla and but I'm getting something else. I can't classify it. I need that nosing kit. Damn it!
I know. I was like hoping to win it because I'm ready to learn. Like,
Well,
Kinda get
it
more
sucks for
familiar.
me because my nose sucks. I've been smoking cigarettes for
Yep.
30-something years, and cigars.
Yeah,
But cigars is not that much. I don't smoke cigars nearly as much as I do a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, the cigarettes have affected my my sense of smell for sure. I'm sure of that.
Well, same with pipe tobacco with me and whatnot. I already know.
Yeah,
Sometimes I could be
The pipe
smelling
tobacco
beer like.
tended.
Go ahead.
The pipe tobacco tended to burn my tongue off.
Yep. Yeah. It does, and it razors up my taste buds. I'm like,
It's sweet. Compared to the Andalusia, it's completely freaking different. I'm not sure if I much care for that batch. It's okay, but
yeah. All right. And he's back.
hey, Raven.
Excuse
Hey,
me.
man.
That's TVMA, by the way.
Well, Phil, Jody,
Yes.
it's okay, but I'm not really sure that I care for it that much compared to the Andalusia. It is
Okay.
completely different. I mean, the Andalusia is more like a triple distilled pot still Irish, and then this is more like Bardstown or something like that.
Yeah, Kathy, I wasn't trying to
It's more like
brag
Kentucky.
about anything. I was just trying to say what I was trying to say how much weight or how many miles I could run back then and how much I can't now, and how much weight I could lift back then and how much I can't now. It was like a comparison. It wasn't bragging. It was not bragging. No. I was just like, hey, y'all realize like we can't do that anymore, I was just,
Real proofy.
you know, I know my limitations.
Sex? What are you talking about? I've been married for almost 20 years.
Well, me too. So, whatever. I'm just saying, you know, back when we didn't have horse strings, you know, we tried to, you know, tie everything up. And
Yeah, try to wear it
hey,
out.
you didn't? Okay, good for you. Whatever. I did. I tried to tie everything up. Well, not everything. I mean, I had
Well,
standard. I mean, you know.
yeah. Not the brown bag special.
Well,
Mhm.
no comment. Depends
Well,
on
at
the
least
night.
tell me not the double brown bag.
Yeah.
Not the double brown bag.
Well, we
That's
used to say, "Hey, man, she butter, right?
Some
You
Russell.
ever heard that? She's butter.
Butter.
My
No.
first Russell's
Yeah.
tenure.
Everything looks good."
Oh, there
but
you go. Good.
Someone says it's good.
That's a good bourbon, Phil.
I've never
yeah,
had
You'll like that.
Says it's
Yeah,
pretty
you
good for
hear
a
me?
10-year-old. You know, $39.95 is our state minimum, so that makes it easy.
There you go.
Oh, they had this attached to it though.
Uh-oh.
Kampai?
Campari.
What is that for?
I don't know. It's attached to the damn bottle.
To make a mixed drink?
I don't know.
Maybe. That's what I would assume.
It's a bitter, so yeah, it must be.
Okay.
Huh. All right, then.
No, did you hear what I said, Mark?
Well, Russell's 10 is pretty damn tasty. No, sir.
Butter. We used to say, "Oh, she butter," right? Everything looks good, butter face.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Oh man. That's good stuff right there.
Yep. Yep. No, I do a couple of chicks back in Kentucky, or if you cover it up from here up, you're like, damn, and then you see her face, you're like, oh,
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, I have.
That's
been-
butter. Okay, I got you.
That's butter. Butter.
Butter. I got you. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, that's
I'm
okay
not
though.
gonna go-
There's a lot
I'm
of
not
country
gonna-
boys that they're the same way, you know.
My thing
Yep.
is, I'm not going to regress into what I used to be. I have outgrown that portion of life. I'm going to take the high ground now.
You're just gonna be safe. That's I get we get you.
Yeah. Well, the only reason
Hey,
is
fake
I
it till you
take
make
high
it.
ground. It's the medium ground because I don't want to climb the hill, and I don't want to walk back down there because then I have to walk back up again. So I'm just going to walk the path. You know.
Well, we ain't all what we were when we got married either. So
Nah.
Mm.
Well,
That's
I'm
what
working
trying
on
to
it
get
because
y'all
I'm growing
to,
my damn hair back.
You know.
I had hair to my ass when I got married, and then I shaved it off about 6 years ago. And now I've gotten tired of it. I was like, piss on that shit. I'm done with the short hair stuff. I've kept it short for over 6 years now, and I'm done. I'm growing it back out.
Then
So that's why
get
this
Kathy
is all
Bates.
kind of doing weirdness.
See, I get this right here
You want
too.
to see the weird curls I got going on?
There's no female representation on this panel, so I will say I am not attracted to men at all.
nope,
Not
0.0.
even a little
Yep.
tiny bit. So when I make references, it's to the opposite sex, and I have no problem with women saying potato sack head. He's got a good body. I can't relate to it. I can relate to it thinking about the other way. It's just like when I look at myself in the mirror, I do not get turned on at all. So
Well, you can look at another man's body. If a woman said he's got a good body, you can say, yeah, he's got an athletic build.
oh
But
no, no, no. I'm
I'm
saying
not
like
gonna say, I'm not gonna say, yeah, ooh, yeah, he's got a good body. I mean,
oh wait.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, okay, or whatever, right? He when he's all muscled up for a movie, I can be like, okay, all the shapes are where they should be, right? And my shape is
Yeah.
more like a jelly bean. And I can relate that people gonna look at am I saying that right? Chris Hemsworth? I'm just throwing out a
Hemsworth,
name.
Hemsworth. Yeah, I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Whatever.
Pardon me.
Or whoever, right? It's got like 6-pack abs and like all this shit, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't even like I'm not turned on by like a female that's like like whatever perfect shape is. Like that's not my thing. I like a little butter bean, you know. I like a little cushion. But I mean that's just me. I don't know, you know.
I fall back on Rodney Carrington. Titties and beer.
titties and beer.
Yeah.
I like
Listen,
titties.
guys, I got to get out of here. I
All
got
right.
to get my R's to bed. So
Go
thanks for
on.
having me
All
up.
right, Phil.
Yep.
Have a good night,
All right.
guys.
You too. See you soon, buddy.
We'll see you
Man.
later, buddy.
Cheers.
I ain't far behind him. I need to give me some. My wife cooked up some fish tacos, so I need to go eat me some of that.
Yeah,
too.
I got to get my booty sleep, beauty sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to help you none, but you
No.
can try.
Right.
I know it. I know it. You know it, and I
I
know
mean, I
it.
keep trying myself, but it just ain't helped me none. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll happen one day. I'll become beautiful again. As long as I get enough sleep.
Well, when you figure that shit out, you let me know because
Right.
I need some of that myself.
That's funny.
When,
It's not gonna happen.
well, then again, never mind because I don't care. You know, because I don't care what people think, anyways. You know,
Mhm.
I'm me,
Yeah.
and that's who I am. And if people don't like me, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Right.
You know, I ain't much on people. So
My thing nowadays, though, like I gave up on all that like juvenile shit like a long time ago, and honestly, I know we joke around on here with the TVMA and all that bullshit, but really, what I'm more interested in is what people can bring to the table mentally, right?
Mm.
You know,
yeah,
hey, let's
yeah.
let's sit around and talk shit around table while we have some drinks in person. You know, it's always easier in person because you know,
All right.
read body language, you can
Oh,
do all
yeah.
this. I love good stimulating conversation around a table with people who are, and I don't care what your knowledge level is, like it just brings something to the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
you know, and if I know something you don't know, I'll throw it out there. You know something I don't know, you throw it out there, and oh wow, yeah, that's cool. Or you trigger something, and I go, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh man, that's cool. You know, I mean, that's what I'm more into is the
Yep.
mental jousting. You know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
in good jest. You know,
Yep. I got you. I mean, yeah, I like certain people, like y'all, both of y'all. I could hang out with y'all any day of the week. If y'all just showed up on my doorstep and said, "Hey, I'm at your front gate. What's the combination?" I'd say like, "Okay, it's this. Come on in." And come out here on the back. I'm on the back porch where I'm at right now. This is where I hang 90% of the time at this house. I'll be like, come out here and hang out with me. Well, I'll pour you up something and, get you a cold beer or, whatever you want because I don't care what you want to drink. Whatever you want to drink is good with me. If you want to drink a gin and tonic, or a straight pour of bourbon, or a beer, or a ranch water, or
Hey,
whatever, I don't care.
come
You
on
know,
in.
I'm good with anything.
Yep.
Yeah, come on in, have a good time, relax, chill out, enjoy yourself. Let me get you something to eat. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the way I am, and
And
I'm
I
fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Same.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 scotches down here. I have 3 different gins.
That's it.
You know, I don't display them behind me because this is all bourbon up here. But I
Yeah,
have vodkas. I have, you know, all this stuff. If people come over, I can pour you whatever you want. What do you want? You know,
there you go.
and
Yep.
if I don't have
Yeah.
orange juice,
See,
I'll go buy some. You know,
Right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
see, my point of view is, if you what do you like to drink? Whatever you like to drink is
It's
it's fine.
fine.
I don't care what it is, and if I have it, you can drink it. You know, and
Yep.
whatever you like to drink, I'm not gonna poo-poo your drink. I'm a vodka
Mm-hmm.
drinker. I'm a tequila drinker, or
Cool.
whatever. I don't care.
Oh,
That's
you like
fine.
that
You drink
tequila?
whatever you like to drink,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
My
what? You
wife is
want
a
tequila
tequila
sunrise?
drinker.
I have a bottle of grenadine over there too. I mean, you
Mm.
know, I've got some
There
Jose
you go.
I have
Cuervo.
cheap. I have
My
cheap
best friend,
vodka.
in,
Yeah.
my best friend in the Air Force. That's what I used to make him. Tequila Sunset.
Mm.
I would make it by the
Yep.
pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Now my wife, she drinks tequila as a shot. She'll drink a shot of tequila. That's the way she likes to drink it. It's either that or
Mhm.
wine, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. Hey, to each his own.
Yeah, my
Whatever
wife.
your
Oh, just
preferred way of drinking is completely fine.
Yeah.
no, I'm going to throw this out there. My wife's a red
Oh,
wine drinker,
airplane.
so if we do show up on your doorstep to park our camper or whatever, my wife likes all forms of red wine. I think our wives would get along pretty good. Pinot Noirs,
I agree. I think
Shiraz.
they would get along just fine.
Yeah, they would get along. They would get along.
Yeah. My wife likes wine and tequila. That's her drinks.
Yeah.
Or maybe the occasional mixed drink. But
Yeah, my
me,
wife likes wine and single malt scotch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Really?
where they come together
That's
is
nice.
wine. If they stay there, right, in that lane,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
it's a crossover. Nah, she likes some really good Pinots though.
Yeah. I'm more into the red wine. If I drink wine,
No,
I like a
Pinot
dark
Noir.
red wine.
Yeah, Pinot Noir. It's like
Yeah,
light as
a
she
decent
goes.
Pinot is good too.
Well, not the Pinot Grigio, but the Pinot Noir. She likes those, and she likes Shiraz, and
thing-
she likes some Merlots, and whatever. She can drink whatever red wine.
I'm a Merlot guy. But down here now, uh, if you head just a little bit south from where I'm at now, kind of south, what would it be? Southwest from me, like Fredericksburg and all that area.
Right.
It's turned into a huge wine region. They're growing shit tons of grapes, and they're making their own wine and stuff down here in that part of the woods, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing pretty good with it. They're coming up with some pretty tasty stuff.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
turned into a huge wine region. It used to be peaches. Now it's
well,
turning into wine.
the problem I
We've
have
got some
with
great peaches here.
the hotter climates growing wine. It's kind of like the hotter climates aging whiskey. You got to be really careful
Yep.
not to get it too acidic. I mean, those
Right.
grapes turn acidic quick.
Yeah.
And in that hotter region, and
Yep.
you've got to really work to get that smooth, sweet flavor out of those grapes. And You know, I just understand the chemistry and the
Hmm.
all behind what goes into it. And I'm like, are you air conditioning your field or what? You know, because the best wine in the world comes
Yeah.
from way up here all the way across the globe, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing
Yeah.
to get rid of that bitter acid from the tail note on your
Well,
wine?
down here in Texas, where they're growing the grapes at now, out
Mhm.
in the hill, what we call the hill country.
Right,
Uh, there's microclimates, because of the
right.
valleys and everything else. There's little microclimates of, it's moisture here, and up you get a little higher, it's not. So they're growing the grapes down in those little microclimate areas, and
That's
that's
good.
making a little bit of a difference. And then
Yep.
they're aging it down here in Texas. And then we have, like with whiskey, like say Balcones and Andalusia and a few
Mhm.
others. You know, the 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 aging and the stuff down here is you have to really watch it, but
Oh, you
monthly.
have to,
It's not
yeah.
like, oh, just throw it in the
Yeah.
fucking warehouse and let it go for 4 or 5 years. No,
No,
No.
you got to
if you
watch
let it
it
go
Not
for four
here
years down
either.
here in Texas,
month to
it
month.
looks like coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly. The
we have
barrel
wineries.
age.
Yeah, all of the wineries here are western slope up in the hills, like Lebanon Springs, and up there in the little valleys the temperature's not horrendous in the summer. It may get up to 80, 85, maybe 90 on the hot day, but that's it. So it's easier for them to kind of keep things in barrel age and
Well, yeah, and a little bit
Well, see
of a
here,
90
wine.
degree
I have a
on the
normal
first
30-degree
anything.
temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I have a normal 30-degree temperature change from the night to the day, back to the night. It's 30 freaking degrees.
Same.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So that if you're talking, oh, hang on, plane.
Must be Dale Earnhardt or something. Just kidding. Flying in.
Well, the thing is, though, you have to look at the whole barrel, right?
Yep.
And you have to look at the average temperature of the barrel through these fluctuations. And if it maintains a certain degree over the 4 years, you can set it and
That's the
forget
thing.
it.
It doesn't.
It doesn't, though.
It will go from seriously. There's like a 30-degree swing in the temperature on a daily basis down here.
Well, yeah,
So if
but
you're
what I'm
aging
saying
whiskey
is,
down here, it goes in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
yeah,
That
but
quick on a
okay,
daily basis.
but if the peak temperature is 90 and the low temperature is 60, the barrel inside the barrel is not gonna like go to those two. It's gonna start warming, it's gonna start cooling, it's gonna start warming, it's gonna, but what you have to watch over time is if the warm overtakes the cool, that's where you got to keep tasting out the barrel month to month to month to see.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Texas during my
exactly.
17, 18 years there, we had 1 year that was like record breaking triple digits all across the board, right? And that there's no cooling at night. Like those barrels are getting warmer, warmer, warmer. You gotta start tasting that shit. You gotta taste it like week to week and be like, oh, we need to get these underground, or we need to put them over here, or whatever. You gotta keep up with that.
But see, that's the thing with the most of this, the stuff that's aging down here in Texas, they don't put them underground. They're aging in different warehouses or like land sea containers or something like that. They don't have like an underground storage where they can go, oh, it's getting too hot above ground, we need to put it underground and let it mellow out a little bit more. No, it's too costly to do that, or cool the freaking warehouse down. No.
Yeah, and TX and Balcones are, yeah, they're respected brands. I mean, I totally
Yeah.
agree. And but they're jerking them when they're 2 years old and saying, "Yep," because you're tossing the dice if you let them go another year. You don't know what next year's going to bring. And Texas, you
Oh,
can
for
have
sure.
that spike of triple digits over 90 days or whatever, and yeah, it'll fuck your whiskey up.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
spent too much
Exactly.
putting that shit in those barrels to let it fuck up, and you're gonna jerk that shit.
Yep. Now, Balcones,
Yeah. I've heard good things about
Balcones
DX.
has they've got some different spots where they can age some stuff and actually control it a little bit, which is good for them because they can
Yeah, I
actually get
will
like
tell
a
you this.
4-year age statement on something.
Yep. Firestone and Robertson. Okay. Firestone and Robertson Distillery puts out TX bourbon.
Okay.
And I've only had their one step up from the base, and it was delicious. Delicious. If they can control the aging on that, and they can put out, it's going to be phenomenal. Now, the one I have is a step above, I don't know, small batch Elijah Craig or something. But I can see where they're going with their bourbon. And if they can control the aging and they can control the climate and the heat and how much, of the bitters come out of the wood and all of that, TX is going to be a brand that can compete with anybody.
Yeah, I was just weary of buying it because it came in a box set with barbecue rub. And I'm like, how bad is this crap if they're trying to trying to get us sell some barbecue rub? I'm like, I don't know about that, but I don't know. I mean, I got my new girl sitting there ready to build. I made you buy it.
Firestone and Robertson has only been around for, I don't know, 5-6 years now. So they're really,
RB,
really
if
young.
you get a chance, RB, if you get a chance to try some Balcones, do it. And as far as I'm concerned, one of their core lines that I really like is their single malt. That is really tasty stuff. And I've tried most all of their stuff. And Balcones really puts out some really good juice. They really do. I've tried the what is it, the Tres Hombres, the ZZ Top one. I've tried their single malt. I've tried their cask strength single malt. It's really good. Yeah, it's a little hot. I mean, cask strength single malt's probably about 128 proof or something like that. A lot of their stuff is just really tasty. Now, granted, most of it has just a little hint of new as far as the flavor to it.
The youngness.
If you're used to old school Kentucky, yeah, it tastes just a little young and a little malty, at least to me. But it's really good with it down here. Put a splash of ice in it, or just a dash of water. Or what I do is put a little dash of ice in there and let it melt down, and then boom, you're good to go. But for the most part, Balcones puts out some really tasty stuff.
Well, okay, so a cheap, dirty whiskey.
Jody, I better get off here and get me something to eat.
All right.
It's been fun hanging with y'all. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it.
I will
get
really into cheap, dirty whiskey after Mark leaves.
There we go. Yeah. Heck yeah. Try to get RB up here. I've hung out with RB in a bit. Have a good night, Mark. We'll see you soon.
All right. When Jody, when you get ready to head around this my way, give me a holler.
I will.
Always room for you, brother.
Give you plenty of heads up. I'll tell you.
Yeah, we've already talked next year, so
Yeah.
You know for what. So we'll
All
see
right.
if I can make that work. All right. See it.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
See y'all a little later. I'll still be in chat.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So cheap, dirty secret whiskey. Well,
I've got Jim Beam. That's pretty cheap.
well, no. I mean,
It's the honey one. It's pretty okay for what it is.
well, Jim Beam is a 4080. You know, they
Yeah.
proofed it down. They distill it high. They get
Mhm.
the max amount of bottles they can, and that's
yeah.
never the way to go.
No. Yeah, the one with the honey, and I like the honey flavor in it.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
flavored.
not something I've drank much lately. I've got a half a bottle left. My tin cup is almost full.
I don't have a cheap, dirty secret. I mean, there's the one I would say, if you can find it for between $20 and $30,
Mm-hmm.
but they've started jacking the price up on it. Is
Beer,
the
same way.
old tub bottled and bond, right?
Mhm.
It's not gonna wow you, you know. But if you can get it for like $25, $24, it's 100 proof. It's Jim Beam, bottled and bond, old tub, old recipe. It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
not bad.
I just like the stuff to
Okay.
get stuff that shows the batch on it. That's kind of where I'm at
Well,
with it. If I'm going to pay
here's
money
what-
on bourbon, I want a batch number that looks like that, and it's known to be decent. I'm not going to spend like $40 on something like, hey, look what I have. And you guys be like, why'd you buy that? No, I'll definitely message you, Phil, Shane.
No.
to see.
And here's the answer to Arby's question. No, it will not. Once that bourbon is in the glass and has the cork in it and it's sealed off, the yeast is dead at that point. And there's no more yeast interaction. That bourbon is going to taste exactly the same years later. Because all of the chemistry behind what goes into it is done. They bottled it. That's it. Now, if you let air get into it, it will taste different, but it won't be for the best. Right. But as long as it's unopened, shrink wrap, cork on, blang, blang, yeah, it's going to be the same stuff no matter how many years you open it later.
Come on, 90s.
Yeah, Rebel Yell 10-year. Okay. Oh, you know what? That may have been the answer. That's a pretty good. I like RB. RB comes up with some smart shit, man. I can't think of it, but yeah. No, Rebel Yell 10-year, pretty cheap. I mean, don't expect it to knock your socks off, but yeah, it's going to be all right, you know.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, so Cyrus, wait, let me answer this, Fulton. So only
Yeah.
aging in cask for longer matter. Yes. Okay. At the point that they bottle it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like bottling beer, and you put finishing yeast in, and it farts and it makes bubbles, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But it's not increasing the alcohol content or anything like that, right? But with whiskeys, bourbons, and all that, it ages to a certain maturity level in the cask. And once they bottle it and seal it and the air is done, I mean, it's over at this point. It's not gonna even cask strength. I don't care if they water it down a little, cut it, whatever. It's not gonna change after that. It's glass. It can't interact with the glass. it's done at that point, and all the yeast will suffocate and die, and whatever's it's all over at that point.
How you doing, Jody-O?
I am well, yeah. Jody, beer's the same way. When you brew beer, if it ain't farting away when you're fermenting it, there may be an issue.
Right.
So
Theoretically, wine. Theoretically, wine's supposed to be the same, but there could be, because of the low alcohol proof of wine, and I say low, it's like 12% or 10% or whatever. There could still be some residual yeast production in there, but it's going to be minimal. Theoretically, when you bottle wine, it's done. It's finished, and that's it. And a lot of times they apply heat to things and kill all the yeast to make sure that what they're bottling that's it. There's no more. They raise the temperature up to 100 and come back down. It kills all the yeast. It's over. It's over. Yeah, and Russell Reserve 10. I mean, I have the 10, over here on my shelf. It's decent. It's decent. But the rare breed is so good. And if you get the American Spirit, the Wild Turkey American Spirit and Wild Turkey Rare Breed are the exact same thing, but one of them is proof down, the other one's cast strength, or higher proof.
Yep.
But you're going to get more depth of notes. Now, if you're going to add water to it anyway, just get the Kentucky Spirit, and it's already cut down. I mean,
it's already ready to go. Yeah.
But if you want to add 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, and figure out where to get, because eventually, if you take Wild Turkey Rare Breed and Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, and you pour 2 sniffers, you taste this one, you taste this one. Oh, this one's a little hot, but I'm getting this note, that note. Now, put a drop of water, swirl it, taste. Eventually, you're going to find how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? You're going to eventually end up with 2 identical glasses of bourbon. And you can drink them both. But it's a higher proof, lower proof, more notes, different notes, separate notes, But these 2 bottles are exactly the same thing right here. These 2 bottles are exactly the same thing. It's just this one is 100 proof, 101 proof, and this one is 118. Or no, wait, no, 116.8 proof. So, how many drops of water does it get this to equal this? I don't know. But if you find it, you'll have the same juice. Same exact stuff. Right there. But I have to go pee, and I'll be right back. Fulton, I'll talk to you when I get back. Hang on.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Chuck.
Yay.
I told you yet. Sorry, having emotional here. My dog Renee passed away.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I saw. I'm sorry, man. I've been there several times. I'm sorry, buddy. It sucks. I know.
I tried everything I could, and there's nothing I can do.
Oh yeah, we're all here for you, man. You know that.
Thanks.
It's tough. We've all been through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother just came in and did a little side of the mountains. Been
Yeah.
having a hard time. I've been trying to keep it together at work, but
Mhm.
it won't work. I decided to cancel work next Thursday. So
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I made the biggest improvement was old grandpa. There you go, RB. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta let them sit and see what they do. I was gonna have whiskey tonight, and I realized, oh no, it's Thursday. I probably shouldn't. I've got a long day tomorrow at work. Got to finish up a project I'm almost done with, but I should have it done, turned in to the boss by 3:00. And he's back. All right.
I'm gonna post this link out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Kaboom.
kaboom.
Excuse me.
I'm only here for like a little bit longer, but if anybody
Yeah,
wants to come up,
I've got a few minutes left in me. That's about it. I'm
Dar's
exhausted.
the link. I might be here for one more hour, but I gotta go to bed at midnight.
Yeah.
Roundabout there. You see how I leave it open. I say a roundabout there. I leave it open.
I've got maybe 20 minutes.
Good. Because I don't like you. No, I was kidding.
No, I need to actually try to get to bed early tonight. Man, the last like 3-4 nights I've just been like, what am I doing to myself? And I pay for it the next day.
So, Fulton, how you holding up, man?
a little bit better today, Jody. Just
That's good.
keeping it in there.
So, was your grandmother a big figure in your life?
What do you mean by that, Jody?
What's that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, was she a guiding light for you? Was that your stone, your anchor? You know, because my grandfather on my mother's side was a huge influence in my life, right? And when he passed away, it was tough. It was tough because I got a lot of I followed him, you know, and he was a big influence on my life. So I was just wondering, with your grandmother, was she like one of those anchors in your life that taught you, that molded you, that all that?
She used to. She used to guide me because the day I was born, like when I first saw her, and it's been a long journey. So
Yeah, and I understand that. Sometimes you have a strong figure in your life, and then later in life they become frail, or they have issues, but you still remember the good times, right? And
yeah,
you never want people to pass away, but it's going to happen, right? We're all going to do that. But I was just trying to measure, where on your journey, in your, I mean, there's some people that love their cat, Chatty, so much that
Which one?
but I mean, there's people, and it's nothing that you know. I'm not trying to downplay anything at all, because it's always sad, you know, when we lose someone. But
Right.
you know, some people have more impact on us than others. And I was just trying to get a measure, because it doesn't matter how old they were, it doesn't matter who they were. If they had a huge impact on your life and they were like your rock or your anchor or whatever, and you went to them for guidance, and you gained so much from them earlier before they, you know, got to a certain point. No, I get it. And you know, it's always hard when you lose somebody. But hopefully, everyone can uh, be resting in the fact that the person lived their life genuinely, did good, had a full life, and then celebrate, you know, the life that they had. And not only, I mean, of course, we're going to mourn the person when they leave, but also at the same time, if they were a fantastic person, it's okay to celebrate the life they had before they passed away.
Right.
We were wondering if you want to send some flowers. It'll be possible if you guys would like to.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I said I'll see if you.
Oh, I didn't touch anything.
No, I know. I think he hit the wrong button, or he might have dropped. Hate when that happens.
Well, he can come back and I'll bring him back up. I mean, I didn't touch shit though.
No, I know. You're just looking down, trying to listen.
Yeah, I was trying to turn an ear to it.
Yeah, even headphones, I was having a hard time hearing him tonight.
Yeah, and I know he's going through a hard time right now.
Yeah, he's got that frog, or ball in the throat, trying to talk.
Yeah, I did not boost full time.
No, I know you did. I was watching him, watching you, then poof, he went down. The internet might have just dropped.
Yeah.
It's pretty okay beer.
What beer is it?
That's from the local brewery, Dry Dock. They're slowly expanding out of Colorado. This is one of their flagships, which is an amber ale.
Okay, Dry Dock.
It used to just be called a ESB, and it said extra special bitter on it, and they could not sell it to save their lives because it said bitter on it. Well, that's the style. As soon as they said, okay, the Americanized version is an amber, and then boom, started selling. So kind of funny how that works.
Yeah, I will name this one Heather, and it will sell. When I named it Marmaduke, it didn't sell for shit.
Pretty much it. Yeah, it's malty. It's good. It's 5.8%. So definitely my last drink of the night.
Yeah.
Because apparently last night in my semi-drunken stupor, I re-signed up to Disney Plus like an idiot.
Well, awesome, Mark, man.
All
Fish
right.
taco, one of my favorites. Oh,
Love
man.
fish tacos.
Let me tell you, the best fish taco I ever had, weirdly enough, was in an airport. Okay.
Wow.
And it was one of the restaurants, you know, a real restaurant in an airport. And I went in and sat down, and they had, for a limited time, seared ahi tuna fish tacos.
Those are so good.
And what they did was they put the teriyaki across, you know, and teriyaki is pretty much soy sauce with a little mirin and sugar, a lot of sugar in it. That's pretty much teriyaki, right? And so they kind of glazed across the raw fish and then torched it. And then they cut it into these little chunks and they built the taco with it. Oh my God, that was good. Yeah, it was expensive, but it was good.
Yeah, best ahi or best fish
no.
taco I had was ahi.
Only to the right, RB. Only to the right. This way. If I go to the left, well, okay. So if I tilt to the right and I'm eating and stuff's coming out over here, I may go to the left for a bite, but that's to even shit out. Right? I gotta keep it in.
Yep.
But I'm a right to left eater. Yeah, on my taco.
Mm-hmm.
Or thighs. Yeah. Oh, that I'll eat up, down, left, right, whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about tuna, not tuna.
Yeah, RB went there. Oh man, yeah. I saw he got some cool art for I think for City Hall done for him.
Yes, from Twisted.
Freaking great! Yeah, I saw that. Watched the whole video. I said, "Oh yeah, I think that'll be good for this. To represent the surrounding of where he's a mayor."
No, she was, and I talked to her back when they were just negotiating, and she was super excited about it. So I'm sure but yeah, I mean, showcase local artists, and he's in the area, and they're right there. So hell yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's really cool that they do that. My old library would showcase a big old what's it called, of art from a local artist, and they'd change up the artist every year. I thought that was cool.
I want to get on a private sometime where we're not live anymore and we're all just backstage.
Yep.
And I want to tell the story where there's only like a few trusted people on about what I told RB to do one time.
Oh, jeez. I got to hear this.
Yeah. It can only be like 2 or 3 people.
That's funny. Yeah. I know. I kept looking at even on the screen. I'm like, gosh, it's just I'm picking up more stuff, and I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah. Right, Mr. Great Shot. Same here.
Yeah, we already have 2. That's the limit. We'll have to set up a private. I'll tell you what I told him one night. No, I'm not. You're going to be surprised by this. No, you would know it. You're going to know it when I tell it. You're going to be like, "Oh God damn, man! I can't believe
it's just be a couple of keywords in it. I'm like, oh shit. Oh man.
No, it's okay. You know how a joke is so bad it's good?
Mm-hmm.
That's this story. It's so bad.
Oh man.
That it makes you go, I get it though. It's horrible, but I get it. Oh, dude, that's hideous, but I get it.
I'll be laughing in my hands. I'll just be laughing down like that. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, that's gold. I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, it's one of those, but I get it stories. Yeah. But yeah, no, we'll do it sometime.
Yeah. Be fun.
I mean, we only have 7 people on the eyeball. I'm just throwing shit out.
Yeah. Why not tonight, RB? You can come up here and hang out for a bit, and then we'll go off air.
Not tonight. I got to think this through.
Okay. That's one of those stories. Okay.
Nope. It's one of those. Nope. We're going to have to initiate you. You're going to have to cut off your left testicle and all this.
Take them both for all I care. Hey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one time in band camp. Now it's one of those. The punchline is huge. But now I gotta make sure I'm not gonna offend anybody.
Right. I don't
Nah,
get
but
easily offended.
man, we used to go. Oh my God, Four Seasons, and I talk about Four Seasons all the time. And Four Seasons, it doesn't even exist anymore.
The hotel?
No, in Dallas, there was a club called Four
Oh,
Seasons.
okay. I thought
Well, it was North Dallas. It was in the Addison area. There was a club called Four Seasons, and when you walk in, you're in a foyer area, and that's where they like pay the covers or whatever. If you walk straight ahead through these wood doors, you were in like the cigar lounge,
Nice.
and it was like pretty big, but the other half of that was like the game room, right? So if you went to the left when you came in the door, you were in the countryside. If you went to the right, you were in the hip hop pop side, DJ,
No.
and they would play all different kind of music. But strobe lights and the disco ball shit and all that was over here to the right. Left side was like line dancing, whatever.
I love
And
it.
these sides were equal size. They were equal size. And on the countryside, you had a stage, and sometimes they could bring in live music, but there was this huge dance floor. On the right side, the disco ball, was a DJ mezzanine, and they would be up there doing, and they had big screens up, and you could, sit around tables. And then in the middle, there was like straight ahead was cigar bar type thing. And then behind that, between the two, was a game room like pool hall area. And that's why they called it Four Seasons, because you could go to 4 different places in the club and have 4 totally different experiences. And the walls were insulated like crazy. Like if you went into the cigar bar, you're listening to jazz or like, whatever they're playing in a cigar bar. If you go over to the pool hall side, you're listening to like normal pop music, whatever they decide to play. Countryside, top country hits like back, Cotton Eye Joe and where'd you come from, where'd you go, whatever. You go over here, what was that dude's name? David Gaeta or whoever, whatever, You got Pitbull fucking, bullshit going over there. So we would get in like 8:45. Covers started at 9. So we would go in and they're like, are you going to be here past 9? Of fucking course we are. Right? We just got here. So here's our cover of $10. And we would go over to the pop, modern, whatever side. But we would get there at like 8:30 to 9 so we could get a pub table right inside the door. And we could see like there was an entrance in like this low area, and you had to walk up steps whichever way you went. And all along this side was a bar. There was a bar way over there, but we never went back over there. And we would come in and sit and watch people come in. And there were people down there taking pictures with like Polaroid cameras and stuff. Give me $5, I'll give you a picture, of your drink, whatever. And we're sitting at a pub table, and we come in to camp out. We get a good pub table. We get there early. Yeah, we just watch. And it's like 3 or 4 of us guys sitting at a pub table, right on the mezzanine, watching people come in to this little low area and then go up to the club. And of course, we're sitting there talking shit about everybody that comes in, murmuring among our little table, right? We're not like shouting at people, "You suck," or anything like that.
Mhm.
We're just like, "Oh, look at dude, look at dude, look at dude."
Yep.
He got the gold belt buckle going on. He needs to be on the countryside. Whatever. We're just talking shit at
Mhm.
our pub table. And we get deep into the night. And when I say deep, I mean maybe 10, 15, 10, 20.
Yeah.
We've been there for a couple hours. And all these people are groups of people coming in. And Richard goes, "Hey, I'm going to go crash that group." He gets up from the table and he runs down. And they're getting a picture made and they're all lining up. And he's in the background going, whatever. Right. And they're taking the pictures, and there's like 20 of them in the group. The camera person doesn't care. He's just taking a picture. He doesn't know if Richard's a part of their group or not. And Richard's back here, like making all these faces, in the background. And he comes back up and sits back down. And he says, "Man, they're going to be pissed when they get those pictures." And I said, "They're Polaroids. They're shaking them out. They're going to see them right now." And he's like, "Oh, shit."
Whoops.
But, yeah, they wouldn't know anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it was dark, loud, flashy, whatever, But it was funny. It was funny at the moment. And that's where Tabitha was. And RB knows how I feel about Tabby. If she was only smarter. If she had only been smarter.
Yeah.
But she was.
Yeah, that's funny. I could say that about a lot of people.
Well, we could say that about 1 million people in the world.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those like conquests that sounded good, tiny and so dumb. Yep. It was one of those conquests that I went for, and the deeper I got into the conquest, the more I did not want to continue down the path.
That's funny. Oh yeah, I know how that goes for sure. Ugh. Yep.
I mean, in casual conversation, she could hold her own.
Mm-hmm.
But if you went past like colloquial bullshit, huh?
Right.
Yeah. I don't take advantage of the mentally impaired. So
I got you.
it wasn't gonna work.
Right.
She was cute though.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why I'm not a visual, like love at first sight type of guy. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it at all. Because until you talk to them and you mentally spar with this person, you have no freaking clue who they are. So how?
Yeah.
I just don't believe in love at first sight. Don't.
RB it was 4-0. These guys, they won 4-0, so they're up 2-0 in the series. He's asking the hockey.
What was it again? I was buffering.
4-0 Colorado. Their backup goalie had to play tonight, and he got the shutout. And I'm like, all right. I think this team looks like they're solid Stanley Cup potential champions the way they played. I mean, Tuesday's game was. As soon as this game ended, I'm like, I can't even I'm exhausted watching that. It was 8-6 final. I'm like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the backup goalie should stay here.
He looked good. I mean, well, he came in. I think he gave up 3 goals himself, but he looked like he was just out of it. And like, oh my gosh, I'm actually in like a conference final game He was able to calm down
Mhm.
for a couple games. Who? I'll be rooting for Colorado, but if Tampa Bay wins, if those two face each other, I'll be happy because that makes a dynasty in my book. 3 championships in a row is a dynasty. So,
Okay, so if Colorado wins, you should take a shot of what?
take a shot of something.
Right.
So,
So,
I've got
So-
Tin Cup. That's Colorado bourbon.
okay. So if Colorado wins, you take a shot of Tin Cup. What if Tampa wins? It's just one shot.
I know. I have to think of like a Florida type of shot. It'll take me a minute to think about. I don't know.
You know, one little shot, and you do it at the beginning of the night, and then go to beer.
Yeah,
You know,
I'd have to think about that one. But
you got to have your celebration drink ready. You know, whichever.
I would probably go
like you
with-
said, if Tampa and Colorado are in the finals, you win either way.
Yeah, I'll be happy.
Right.
I'm like, cool, new T-shirt coming my way.
Yeah.
New pennant.
And I'll tell you what I'll do, because I'm living vicariously through you with this hockey stuff.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with it at all.
You're good.
If Tampa and or Colorado are in the finals, if Colorado, this is what I know right now.
Yeah.
If Colorado wins, I will take a shot of Tin Cup. I will go buy a bottle of fucking Tin Cup.
I
And
know. I got it now. Or I could run out and get or I could just run out and just get it's just as bad Breckenridge. You can get some Breckenridge.
I have a bottle of Breckenridge.
Then that's what I'll do. If the Avs win the Stanley Cup,
Okay.
I will go out and get a bottle of Breckenridge and do a shot off.
I
of
have.
it.
Man, my
Not sure
dogs
which one. 5 or 6 at my liquor store.
Right. And Breckenridge, for y'all who don't know, is a blended mash of bourbon. It's not that good. It's not that bad. It's overpriced, but I have a bottle of it already. So
It's in the middle. I've
It's in
had
the
some.
middle.
Like,
Yeah.
when my friends were packing up and moving, the last thing they packed was, of course, their bourbon. Tin Cup is.
I'd rather do Breckenridge than Tin Cup.
Yeah, Tin Cup was Denver. Shanahan's is another Colorado distillery, and they're just mediocre at best.
I gotta go see what's going on. There's
Right.
more dogs than I have.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Who let
I
the
gotta
dogs
see
out?
here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you talking about Eddie Belfour? No, I haven't tried Belfour. I'm really pretty as introductory into bourbon as it gets. I've noticed it's like, 1 or 2 pours. I'm like, oh crap, I'm there already. So, with beer, I consider it. I just had 4 beers in the last, I guess, 4 hours. I'm trying to keep it easy tonight, but yeah, bourbon gets me quick. And I have a little dram of a pour from 21090. I think it's 122.5 proof, so I'm kind of scared of it. So, but I know the other night I had the 120 proof. I finished that up. That was from, I think that was 120. It was from Old Humble. He happened to hop in my chat or someone's chat where I was. I said, hold on, let me grab this because I still have some of it. It is Eddie. Eddie Belfour actually owns a distillery. I'm going to have to get some of that, man. I loved Eddie the Eagle. He was a fun goaltender to watch. Good guy. $80 a bottle, though.
$80 a bottle for Belfour?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's named for Eddie Belfour, the former Chicago Blackhawks / Dallas Stars goaltender who was outstanding, man. He was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but $80 a bottle. It better be good juice. These things, man.
Yeah.
These people that endorse stuff, all it is MGP stuff that you can. It's just like, because they don't distill it.
No.
They're procuring bourbon and there's nothing special about it except the price.
Yeah, I can get it here. I don't want it because it doesn't have the eagle that was on his mask all those years. If that had the eagle somehow on the label, that would have been cool. But Total Wine looks like here is 70.
So what's it rated? I mean, who rated it? I mean,
This is Total Wine, and they have 10 ratings. It's 4 out of 5 stars.
No, I was talking about 100. Like, is it over 90? Is it in the 80s?
I don't know. This one's lower from the Whiskey Wash, 3.3. So
3.3. It's going to give you about a 78 to 85. That is cheap juice. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not good. It's just not
great, Mark. Exactly. It's like I even cringe when I pay $30 for a bottle, but I've quickly realized if you're paying $30 for a bottle, I'm getting shit.
Right. And whiskey is one of those things you do not get what you pay for.
No.
In all cases. And there's a lot of boutique. Now, there's a difference between craft distillery and boutique, right? Mm-hmm. And boutique is usually NDP, a non-distilling producer. They get barrels, they blend them, they try to hype up the stuff, and they have to charge a high price because they're paying aftermarket for the barrel. They're, but it's not good liquid.
I'll pour a little something. I'm going to pour a little something real quick.
Okay. But, like this one where I went and did the documentary film and shot all the footage, they actually distill their stuff. And there's a lot of story behind where they get the grain, how they do all of this. It's a double pot still, all this stuff. I mean, this stuff's unique. You're only going to get it from there. And it is damn tasty. But some of these boutique NDPs, non-distilling producers, they're buying the same juice from, that all these other ones are. And they're just like trying to blend stuff a little different. And there's only so much you can do with it. And then I run into like lead slingers and Penelope who are using subpar water to cut the bourbon down. They're just hooking a hose up to a spigot, You can't do that. You've got to have purified distilled water, going in, or you're going to make clouds in your bourbon over time. And and they're charging a primo price. And I'm like, y'all, just stop, because we're going to destroy you. And I don't like to come on here and destroy small NDPs. But if you're doing it wrong, I also feel like I have an obligation to point it out to people that these are the subtleties behind what you're buying, and that ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it at all. And if you don't drink it up in 2 weeks, you're going to get these like cum clouds in your bourbon. And that's the only way I can really explain it. It's like sheets of whiteness in your bourbon. Yeah. And that's from a lot of times non-purified water that they're using to cut the bourbon. There's too many minerals in the water, and things are clinging and collecting. And now that won't hurt you. It won't. It's off-putting. It looks ugly. It looks like, American Pie. I came in a cup type thing.
Well, it came in a pie, but that's okay.
You don't know the difference between that and the bad oils that come in and those type of things, and it looks the same. It's just, if you're gonna have bourbon, it better be pure.
Oh, yeah. This is all right. It's the Chattanooga single barrel, 120 proof, just a little bit. I wanted to save some. I've been smoking a lot this evening, so it's gonna mess up the palate.
Mm.
I won this on
Well,
210.
I will say this, RB. The only reason I filmed where you were 2 years ago is because you hooked me up with Mark DeSory. And I will say this. I told him at the end of the shoot, I said, man, I owe Richard, I said, I'm going to not tell him I owe him anything, but, I kind of owe him. And he's like, who? I said, Richard Boyer. He's like, who's that? I'm like, he's a mayor. He's like, oh, yeah. The guy that, yeah. So, yeah, we'll reserve that for later. I will say, RB. Oh, I'll tell you in private. I'm not going to tell you on here. It was
excuse me,
pissing me off.
Yeah, I'm not
But
used to this.
some things went wrong on this shoot. I'll tell you that.
Oh, from the last few days or whenever you went down over to where you went.
What's that?
To where you went?
Oh yeah. There's. I will tell you in private. Once, if you're still around when I end the stream, I'll vent to you big time.
Okay, I'll stick.
So the big winner tonight, the big winner of the giveaway was Jimmy Licari.
Dang it! Just kidding. Heck yeah,
Yep.
man! I don't know much about Jimmy. I don't know if he gets on panels or whatnot, but that's cool because he's been very, very loyal to the Thursday night.
Jimmy had a lot of entries.
Yep.
And New York. I'll just say the state, New York.
Okay.
I've
heard there's decent bourbons up there, smaller distilleries. I've a couple of friends up there. Of course, I met through grad school. Most of them. One of them I met through gaming. They're like, some of the bourbons and whiskeys up here are pretty legit. And I'm like, sweet. Every state needs at least one good one. I don't know why we're just focusing on craft beer here, where we make subpar bourbons, but it happens.
Yeah, I will. To RB, I did get some merch. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a hat right here that you can see on my shelf. That's from Walnut Grove Farms, who supplies all the grains to Mark in the distillery. And they said, they made a point to tell me they only give this swag here to the most VIPs. I got Walnut Grove Farms.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
Very nice labeling on it. Holy cow.
Yes.
Simple, but adequate and nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool.
Man.
And I got some other things, but no, it's not about what I can get when I go.
I know. It's cool.
But we impressed each other type thing with our professionalism and everything, And it's what you bring to the table when you get there.
Yeah, I got message from one of the owners of the brewery. It's up the road a bit, and he's like, "So, I haven't seen you in here for a while." I'm like, "I know." I said, "But I still have the Christmas elf sitting in my cellar." But I said, "I need to get back up there soon and have some more of your new beers. It's just been busy with work and everything." He's like, "I'm just making sure we're still working together because they're not an official sponsor, but they do hook it up with some." Shit. And that's like you said, it's not why I do it. I do it because I like their
No, I mean,
I like what they're serving. I like what they're doing. I like.
I
It's a
brought
fun-
hats. I gave hats out. They got a hat. I got a hat. I got a snifter. I got, they got other things too. I gave things to them.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I highlighted the comment.
Mhm.
Widow Jane. Okay. I got to talk about Widow Jane because we did, if you go back and look at the video,
Mhm.
Jefferson's versus New York. Okay.
Mhm.
And it was when COVID was like in full swing, and we did it outside and we sat at each end of the table. And I recorded out here before we cleared this area to park our camper. Like it was just like bushes growing back there. And we had them come in and clear all that out, put gravel down, retaining wall, and I can park my camper over here. But this is before all that. And we did Widow Jane and Hudson Baby Bourbon because they're both New York. And they don't even make Hudson Baby Bourbon. Now it's Bright Lights Big Bourbon,
Mhm.
But we did that versus Jefferson's, a couple of Jefferson's bourbon. And I will tell you from that night, Widow Jane took the night. That was the best bourbon we had in the glass that night. Widow Jane is one of those sleeper bourbons that a lot of people don't know about. And
Mhm.
but if you put it against other bourbons, it dominates to a point, and then it's going to get washed, above the $70 range. Yeah, it can start getting washed. Now, like I said, though, money does not always equate, but if you put Widow Jane against certain bookers, releases and all, yeah, Widow Jane's going to get demolished. But if you class it to its status, it's at the top of that range, right in there. I think Widow Jane to me is priced very fairly for what you get, and Hudson is not.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I have the Widow Jane 10-year over here. Yeah, I have the one I have is I have a Widow Jane. This is batch 215, bottle 127. It's a 2020 Widow Jane. And it is fantastic. I will tell you that. This is really good stuff.
Now, are they national or just regional?
Oh, well, it's New York, but there is zero cloud. They use really good water in this. There's no fusel oils in there. I mean, this bourbon, if you buy it, will last forever on your shelf. There is like nothing off about this at all. And I've had this a while. I just don't like drinking them down too low because it lets too much air in.
Mhm.
Once I get them down, then I finish them because, I don't like air getting in. But no, it's a fantastic bourbon.
I'll be finishing this tomorrow for sure. Because that is what you say. Alright.
Yeah, that Widow Jane is really, really good.
Yep.
Let's see, what is this? Ever had Widow Jane?
Need another drink. I'll be right back.
It can be a little pricey. Yeah, it depends on where you are. 7/34/2020. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're very similar. Oh, RB. Shit, now I gotta go drink some Widow Jane. I may be with you. I may be with you here shortly. I'm about to run out of beer. I may have to pour a little Widow Jane just to remind myself. You know what? I think I'm gonna do it. Hang on. I'm gonna grab this bottle back out. Damn. I'm knocking my cigar lighters over.
I only have Bics.
Well, I'm gonna
I need a good cigar lighter.
I'm gonna pull the Widow Jane. I'm gonna have another little sip.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of some homebrew.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous. And I'm gonna pour just a little.
There we go. Ooh, yeah, this is
About that much. Just to remind myself and hurry up and get the cap back on it and put it back on the shelf. I know it won the night. It won the night on that Jefferson's versus New York. Woo, that is. Oh, that's good stuff.
I poured homebrew. It's not this dark. It's not showing up correctly with my lighting right now, but some homebrew I made with a friend.
Well, I'm gonna let this sit here and air just for a minute, and I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm muting.
All right, yeah, I'll interact with the chat. Give me a second, guys. Let me get another light on. Oh, that's like sunlight in my face. Turn that down. There we go. All right, let's see. Guani, well, I don't drink, smoke, or anything. Hey, man, that's okay. Props to you. I do plan on quitting cigarettes soon, so got 2 boxes of patches to knock it off. Even though I do enjoy my cigars and stuff, I at least want to do one more nice pair and see how it goes. Maybe quit smoking then. But yeah, you're back, Seth. Did you see the Avs? The Avies won 4-0, 4-0. Francois got the shutout. Whiskey, food, did same thing about smoke. You see, I spent $100 and tried it. Damn, it was so tasty. See, I mean, I spent $100 on whiskey. That is after taxes, darn near a full day of work. So that's kind of hard to stomach. But I've heard Smoke Wagon is awesome. I could have tried some Smoke Wagon at my friends before they moved. I had some Shanahan's, which I thought was had some Breckenridge, which I thought was a little better, and then I had a little bit of the tin cup, which is what I bought. I thought was pretty all right, but the more I drink it, the more I'm like, nah, tin cup sucks. You're just basically buying the tin cup on the top of the bottle.
Yeah, tin cup is worse than. I would not suggest tin cup for a starter bourbon even. It's like if you can stand tin cup, here, let me show you a couple of things that. Oh, Smoke Wagon is fantastic, dude.
That's what I was saying, but I'm like $100. You know, it's like 100 bones. I'm like, it's pretty stiff, but maybe down the road. I mean, hey, my birthday's in a couple months. Maybe the folks will throw me a few bucks, and I'll say, you know what? I'll put some money towards that and get some. I Smoke Wagon.
I'll tell you what, that Widow Jane does not disappoint. Now, don't expect deep, complex notes. If you're expecting a mid-range balanced bourbon, Widow Jane satisfies right there. And it has a few complex notes just above, but the finish is not there.
Yeah. I don't remember what I had the other night, but it was so freaking, it was phenomenal. I had the bottle, of course. I keep these bottles for sure, but I'll have to go look at the empty bottle. It was so good. It was so good. I quit smoking, using a vape system. That's what I did too back in 2012. I stopped smoking cigarettes through vaping. And then an old supervisor of mine said, hey, you should try some pipe tobacco. I'll give you this pipe for free. And fell in love with it. And I fell in love with cigars.
Well, Guani.
Oh, hell yeah. Great shot. That would be awesome if I could try some of that. Oh, my gosh.
So Guani just stepped all the way down to 0 milligrams of nicotine.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I quit smoking for 2012 to 2014, and grad school was stressing me out. My job had just started, was stressing me out, and I found pipe tobacco and fell right back down it. But at least I didn't fall back down to the point that I'm going out and paying $11 a pack of cigarettes anymore, because it's like I can't do it.
I know.
But if I'm hanging out with like a friend or something and they smoke, they're like, hey, I'm gonna go out and smoke. I'm like, do you mind if I join you? Like trivia night. I'll go out like once and have a cigarette in the middle of it. I'm having a few drinks. It's like, yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind a cigarette, but it's not like I'm gonna go back. Do it. Isn't that
you're gonna lose me for a second, but I have to turn off my Wi-Fi. I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi on my tablet, so it's competing with my gigabit.
You're good. I'll hold down the fort. Hold down the fort. Chat with the peeps.
All right, hold down the fort for a minute.
Got it. But right, yeah, okay, RB, yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh wow,
I'm on pure gigabit now.
There you go. Wow, that was. I figured you'd have to drop out for like a minute and come back in.
No,
That's
it
nice.
just had to quit competing, quit trying to do the Wi-Fi, and it just brings the hardwire in. No, the finish isn't weak, but it's weak compared to advanced bourbons.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I wouldn't put Widow Jane so when we did New York versus Jefferson, we had Jefferson Small Batch and Jefferson Reserve, Widow Jane, and Hudson Baby Bourbon, right? Hudson got demolished by both of the Jeffersons, but Widow Jane toppled them both, all of them, right? But I would never put Widow Jane, what I have in this glass, even though it's relatively a darker medium side of amber. It's just not complex enough to stand up with the Bookers and not all Bookers. I'm saying the one I have, the Calumet 15, the even the Lincoln Pitch, even the one the Bellmead Cast Strength, those things are going to kill this. It's not the same weight class, but in its weight class, is what I'm saying. This is what was that little fricker's name in the Philippines that was a boxer, and in his weight class he dominated everything.
Oh, I can't tell you. Guani, I'm the same way. I can tell, like, at least cigarettes are so, like, potent. Someone walks by me that I can tell who, like, recently smoked them, like, oof. But yeah, I mean, I've box of patch. There's 13 in that box, one behind me. I'll probably just by my desk at work if I'm like, all right, it just should just do it now.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. That's who I was trying to think of. And Manny Pacquiao dominated in his weight class, but you wouldn't put him against George Foreman. These motherfuckers, they would just like, boom, he done, right? So Widow Jane can't take a punch from the big boys, but if you put her next to these, she's gonna karate like Black Widow chop that shit, right? And that's what I love about RB. He's so smart.
Yeah, he's hot, man. Hell yeah.
But yeah, some of these bourbons up here would kill Widow Jane, but in its class, it's a really good daily sipper if you can afford it, and it's a good go-to every once in a while as a little step up from your daily sipper or whatever.
Oh, this is I've got to brew this beer again. This is so good.
All right, Guani. Thanks for stopping in.
Cheers, Guani. Have a good night, man. Good job on quitting nicotine tobacco, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I will get there eventually. It won't. I don't think I'll do it this month, to be honest, because and I think the 18th I want to do my pairing of beer, cigar, whiskey, or any spirit, cigar, pipe tobacco. Just anyone who has something other than like a cigarette, come on up, and I at least want to do that one more time.
No,
And I may even say this is the last time this month.
Widow Jane is not sourced. No.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's not MGP juice. No.
It's everything we have that's made
Well, it's not sourced at all. I mean, they distill it. Yeah.
here. I don't know if Humble is. I don't think he is. I think he's straight in house. Old Humble.
Oh yeah, Old Humble. He distills all
It's
his
just
own
small.
juice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Well, it's craft, right? It's craft.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good too. I mean, that's
But
what I finished off the other day was the Old Humble double rye, and it was so tasty. I'm like, I'm gonna have to contact him and say, hey, I can't get it here. Yeah, I know you'll work with me. Pay for the bottle, pay for shipping.
Here's one thing I'll tell you that won't come up in the documentary. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy that owns Dueling Grounds Distillery,
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, I said, I have to ask this question because, there's not very many people out there that own their own distillery.
Oh, that's crazy.
What was your passion? What was the flip? Why did you start a distillery?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, the industry I was in and blah, blah, blah. That's what will come up in the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Inside information with 8 people on the eyeball, I will tell you right now.
Yeah.
He was in the Nashville music industry.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Agent, sound guy, lighting, things. But he had, he represented, talent.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some pretty good freaking money. And he said, I felt like my days in the industry were limited and I needed to make a switch. And he had a passion for bourbon, a passion for whiskey, and he got into this. Now, what you'll hear in the documentary is a superficial type of switch, right? You're not going to get this in-depth background.
Mm-hmm.
But he made good money doing that. And I'm going to tell anybody out there right now, if you want to start your own distillery, you better have a pile of fucking cash.
Yeah.
It's
an investment.
It costs a lot to start it. It costs a lot to gamble with it. You better do your research and make sure you can come out with some good shit.
Right.
And if it works out, you have to wait 4 years before you get your first shit, right? So my question is, if you want to start a distillery, can you spend $500,000 and live for the next 4 years for free?
No.
Then you can't start a distillery.
Yeah. It's not just a passion. You just have to look at it as, okay, I've got the backing, I've got the money.
Well, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly that too. It's an investment. It's not a quick way of making money. It takes a long time. Even with breweries, you can't start a brewery and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be fine after a year. No, it's going to take 3-4 years.
You're right.
For you to finally be in the black and go, okay, now we're starting to make some money.
Because that first bourbon that you produce, you're not going to make a penny off of it for at least 2 years if you're calling it straight bourbon whiskey. And, there's quick hits and there's all this, and there's some that started quick hit and then they tried to develop their brand, but people already had a sour note in their mouth, whatever, from the old bourbon that they procured, diluted, and tried to make a little money to keep them afloat. It takes investment, time, patience, and know-how, and a little gamble to it. But the more you know, the more you're trying to do things the right way, use the right water, use the right temperature on your still, really calculate all this, measure everything out. All of those things take time and effort and money. But if you do it right and it pays off, you can boom. If not, you flink a sink.
Yep.
And all of that is down the drain.
So that with the brewery was up the road from me, the guy right off the bat made a major mistake. He bought all the equipment, he didn't rent it. He just went full force into it, thinking, I'm going to be the next New Belgium or whatever. It's like, no. And it just after a year and a half, 18 months, they were gone.
Well,
they folded literally just before the pandemic shut down. It was like if they could have held on for another 2-3 weeks, they would have gotten like a government buyout to keep them going. But how much longer?
Right.
That they were operating. He was operating as like it would have made it maybe another 8 months, and that was it.
Here's the deal, too, though. Who is the parent company? To Fat Tire, right? New Belgium.
New Belgium, and I think they're. Oh, who is it? It's an international company that owns.
Yeah. Okay.
They are distributed by, I think, Anheuser-Busch distributes nationally, but there are 2 breweries of New Belgium, and there has been since they're independent. Fort Collins, Colorado, Asheville, North Carolina.
Well, I'm looking. It's Keyring. Okay, Keyring owns New Belgium.
Yeah, it's been about 4 or 5 years now.
Right. So New Belgium Ale, Fat Tire and all those other ones.
Yeah.
I used to buy them all the time before Keyring bought them. But there's anytime you see a brewery go national, they're owned by a major conglomerate.
Yep.
Because they have the funds to go do it, right? They have the distribution lanes, they have the advertising lanes, they have all this other stuff, right?
Yep. New Belgium was nationalized, independent. There's really no need for them to sell. It's not like they're on the verge of going bankrupt. That just who said Keyring just said, "Hey, we're going to offer you this," and of course, the board sat together and discussed it, brought in some of the higher, people from the brewery, and they all said, "Yeah, we're all going to get a fat payout. Let's do it," and that's what happened.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You and I, Chetty, if we went together and we said, "Man, I know how to brew beer," and you said, "Man, I know how to brew beer," and we were shitting around with each other, and we got together and we said, "You know what? We have a special recipe, right?"
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know we could come together like this, right?
Yeah.
So we start producing and we start brewing, and we say, "You know what? In order to brew more and sell, we need a license, but we believe in our little product enough to get the license, and let's do more."
Yep.
And hey, I'm excited about this. I'm willing to put a little of my savings into this, and let's get some investors excited, and let's try to grow. So eventually what we would get to is this local distribution, or a tap room or whatever. Yep. And only the locals know who we fucking are, right?
We still got to market.
but we're making okay money. And let's say our product is so good that you and I are both making $250 a year. I'm talking about $250,000 a year. And we own this little micro, and it's still micro at that point. This micro brewery in BFE, Colorado, or wherever, right? It doesn't matter what state. But we're producing some good stuff, and the locals are like, man, this is fire, right?
Yeah.
And wow, this is good. And I send it to my relatives, and I wish they could get it. And then we start looking at expanding, and we can afford this bigger, production, but we're still not there. We can start expanding to 3 counties or the next state or this. At some point, we start becoming a blip on the radar, right? Then companies like Budweiser and Kirin and whoever, they start watching that blip, right? And we are working our asses off. I'm talking about sweat, blood, tears, everything, right? And we are just exhausting ourselves in here. And then our little blip on the radar becomes big enough for one of these companies to go, we need to start talking to them. Right? They've got a great product. And what happens is these big, huge parent company comes up and says, you know what, we can make you national next year. And we're not going to change your flavor. It's your baby, right? You keep making your baby, but we're going to put all of this infrastructure behind you. But here's our cut, and here's what you have. But once we go national, your 250,000 a year becomes $1.2 million a year. But you're never going to get there unless you make a deal with these guys.
And that's the thing. There's always that number that you just have to say, you know what? I've been busting my back. I'm hurting. I'm getting older. That's the number.
Can run. I can be the CEO of this shit. You and I can be co-CEOs or whatever. And it's our recipe. We're still under quality control, but it's so big, and they can distribute the shit around the world. And even though if we had done it on our own without their help, it would have taken 20 years longer, and we would be multi-billionaires. Okay, but when am I going to die? Right?
Exactly. That's another thought. Is
so
mortality comes
in. Go, look, I'd rather make $1.2 million for 15 years than be a billionaire after I'm dead. Right? So, you make deals, and and that's the way it works.
I mean, and sometimes it's like Dry Dock's been around now for, the brewery itself has been around for almost 17 years, and they have independently penetrated Kansas. And they've even said, we are not looking to sell. We just have realized our product needs to be pushed across state lines for now. And we're going to work every year. We're across Kansas. Next year is going to be across New Mexico, then up into Wyoming, and then into Utah, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And the current owner is the creator's son. The creator, he's done. He's just counting his money. You know how that goes.
Right.
And his son's about my age, late 30s. It's like he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's not looking to sell. Hell, he's running the starter of this brewery, which was a home brewer shop right next door, and they're connected. And I've talked to him. He's like, we're not selling. He's like, but you may not like what I'm about to tell you. And he kind of gave me the tidbit 5 months ago. He said, we're going to distribute in Kansas. And I was just like, Bro, you got to be kidding me, man. This is a Colorado. This is like supposed to be like a Colorado, you know, was it in the, yeah, just a Colorado jewel. He's like the one that's there, man. The one's in New Mexico and all in the four corners and outside the state. I said, I just said, just do it slowly. And if Anheuser-Busch comes by, just push him away. Just said this isn't the right time for us to sell. He's like, dude, no. He's like, I'm like 30. I think he said he's 37. He's like, dude, I'm 37. I've got another many, many years ahead of me. He's like, but there's always that magic number that'll make me go.
Well,
all right,
because you can look and go, oh, I can not work this hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you truly are doing it, and few people do things truly. I mean, they start off that way, right? It's a passion. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. But those numbers crumble. And all of the work and sweat and everything that went into it. And you're like, man, I'm killing myself here.
Yeah.
And I could take this deal. And for me, I'm set for life, you know? And that's what happens.
I mean, I've seen him. I know. Even though he's a little younger than me, I've seen him like he's always working in a brew shop, but then like every once in a while, he'll meander into the brewery and just kind of walk, make sure everything's good to go. And if something's a little off or something, they'll just say, hey, you know, fix that real quick, and they'll go back. And it's just like that's going to take a toll out of him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dry Dock Brewing Company is national in the next 10 years.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool because I'm like, well, that was my hometown brewery. I grew up literally 2 miles away from that brewery. I'm still about 2 miles or a mile and a half away from that brewery. And if they go national, it's like, yeah, man, that's from my whole hometown. That's, homegrown.
Yeah.
But they'll lose their flair. Like even now, some of their beers, if you buy them, if you get on the tap, it's really, really good. But if you get in the can, it's like, okay, you guys are cutting little corners here. I can taste it. And that's just within the state. So
yeah, there's a few companies, right, that own a whole bunch of shit. And I was just looking up Keyring Holdings. Anytime it becomes a holdings company, that means they're buying companies that own stock. Right, they're a stock holding company, right? So,
I'm just curious who Keyring also umbrella.
Well, they have other agreements, like Keyring in the United States is distributed, not owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Yep. And that's where my hunch was that I had a feeling that AB InBev or MB InBev or AB InBev was basically over New Belgium anymore.
Right.
I mean, luckily here, nothing's really changed. But let's say I go up to North Dakota and say, "Oh, cool, they have Fat Tire. I'll pick up a 6-pack of Fat Tire." It's not going to do the same because we're right up the road from. Or we're 2 hours or an hour and a half or so away from the original brewery. So, of course, they're keeping things at that location as close to original as they can. The Fat Tire is a little off. There's some notes in the Fat Tire that used to be there that are just kind of take it down a little bit, but it's still good beer.
That's the thing is anytime you hit that big, huge conglomerate scale, they're going to try to take your product and make it appeal to more people, right? So my distribution is 250,000 people in this area.
Yeah.
Those 250,000 people are loyal. They love it, whatever. But what these big companies look at is, okay, let's tweak the recipe a little bit here and there to make it appeal to more people, to make it more across. You may lose 60% of your royal, but you will gain 4.5 million.
Yep.
You know, type thing. And they're only looking at the numbers at that point.
Exactly. I mean, the Voodoo Ranger started out as the Ranger IPA with New Belgium. And then, of course, Keyring, A&B, and Bev, whomever looked at that and said, "Oh, it's a IPA. It's just a basic, like British IPA. Oh, there's so many variants we can take this, so many different directions. That's why you see so many different Voodoo Rangers out there anymore. But it all started with the Voodoo IPA or the Ranger IPA. You can't find that anymore. I may even have. I think I have a bottle here somewhere of the original Voodoo IPA.
No, I'm a huge fan of Fat Tire. I'm a huge fan of New Belgian ales, but the New Belgian ales.
I mean, they did it right. That's the thing. They've done it right.
But the New Belgian ales I used to buy back then are not the same as they are today.
Yeah.
They're just not the same.
Yeah, Fat Tire's lost its flair. What else do they have? Their 1554 is still phenomenal. The Tripel is very, very similar to the original Tripel. So some of those that are like non-like IPA or whatever.
Well, those aren't the mainstream beers, right?
No, they're not. Those are
they're not. Those are specialty buys and small, and they're not going to change those because they want to hold on to that group that was the only purchasers of them anyway. But they're going to take the more mainstream Fat Tire product and turn it into
there you go whiskey.
An English amber so they can get a big, huge distribution. And the Fat Tire amber is not the same as it used to be.
No, it's not. They always take the flagships and screw them up.
Well, it's why they bought the company.
Yeah, for the flagship, they bought it They bought it mainly for the Fat Tire, and secondarily they bought it for the Ranger IPA. And now you're looking like you can walk into any convenience store. There's a Voodoo Ranger right there. It's like, that's Even in Tampa, it's like they had the Voodoo Ranger sitting right next to a Yingling. I was like, what the hell's going on, man? I don't like this.
Yeah, and what they do is, and they'll sometimes they won't change the original recipe, but they'll make these different variations.
Yeah.
And they'll tone it down. And then when something hits and it's like, oh, here's what's selling, they'll cancel everything in between and just have that. And then they put all their effort into it because, this is the one that's going to appeal to the most people.
Yeah. And Dell's Pale Ale is right next to the Voodoo Ranger. And that's also, I think, Oscar Blue is out of Longmont, Colorado.
Yeah.
And I saw those two next to each other right by the Yingling. I'm like, am I in fucking Colorado or where the hell am I? I was kind of getting pissed off. I'm like, I came down here to try local beer and all you're shoving down my throat are Colorado beers I can get at home. I'm like, come on. So I grabbed the Yingling and went home.
I'll tell you this, guys. It's midnight.
Yes,
and
sir.
I have to get up in the morning and do a little worky work. So I'll be back Saturday night and we'll hang out.
Heck yeah.
I may even be back tomorrow night for a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully sometime this, most likely Saturday, early afternoon, you're going to watch me burn my ass off with the new Elijah X hot sauce. I heard it's no joke, so I'm like, all right, I'll have fun with it. I'm going to do it live. You're going to watch me burn live. I'm going to start doing the really hot stuff live. I've learned the recordings. People are like, oh, you edited that. No, I really didn't at all. I just added my intro and fixed the audio. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go live.
Good night, Newfoundlander English family.
Good night, Newfoundlander. You rock.
And hey, I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm ending broadcast. Thanks for joining. Lovely spin. Congratulations to the winners and all that.
Yeah.